This is a HeadGum podcast.
Welcome to another new episode of All Fantasy Everything, the podcast that fantasy drafts the world. I am your host, Ian Karmel, and today, ladies and gentlemen, we're fantasy drafting. We're fantasy drafting a presidential administration. That's what we're getting to. It's prescient. It's timely. It's in the news, and if I am nothing if not a political creature, even though I'm probably one of the foremost experts on politics in the world. This week I brought in a couple of experts. The stand-up comedian Jared Logan, who's a very bookish, smart man who often wears blazers. Just not even when he doesn't even have to. He'll just show up somewhere wearing a blazer. You're in a t-shirt. That's the kind of guy he is. And joining myself and Jared today is former President Obama speechwriter, former Hillary Clinton speechwriter, political pundit, political expert, television show creator, 1600 Penn. The wonderful Jon Lovett joins us here today. And we got together to fantasy draft our ideal presidential administration. That means president, vice president, chief of staff. A chief of staff is basically like the president's friend who makes sure everyone in the administration sort of stays in line. Secretary of State, which is America's top diplomat, which I think I say 45 times during the podcast because I just found it out. And then the Secretary of Defense, who's the person other than the president who's in charge of the army. They also have to push the nuke button when and if we launch nukes. So that's what we're drafting. That's who we're drafting it with. Thank you for listening. I had a great time with this one. I learned a lot, and it got incredibly surreal and ridiculous. I think you'll have fun too. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another titillating episode of All Fantasy Everything. I'm your host, Ian Karmel, and today we are drafting a presidential administration. That means a president, a vice president, and then three other roles that each of the contestants today will have arbitrarily picked. I say contestants. We can use whatever we want. Guests. Let's use guests and let's meet
candidates.
Candidates. Whichever one of they're going to pick the fucking administrations. And the candidates today, and you will vote for them later. Perfect. That was Jared Logan, stand-up comedian, television writer.
Yeah.
Bon vivant.
Raconteur.
Grand dame of the avant-garde.
Yeah.
So you have so many titles.
Yeah, man about town.
Man about town, more than anything. Joining myself and Jared, we worked together on The Late Late Show on CBS.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So anything James Corden has ever said funny, it was either you or me who wrote it.
That's correct.
We can go on record
Going
and say
back
that.
to when he was very young.
Very young.
And it was
Whose idea
interesting.
was it to say, yeah, just sing in a car for a while?
That was Jared and I came up with that
Yes,
together.
that's I thought of that.
Yeah,
actually,
yeah.
not Ian. Just
No,
me.
it was my idea for the car to have like a seatbelts.
You added the car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was
you
like,
were-
sing.
You invented the abstract conception of song. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you were, and for words to have melody to them.
That's right, in ancient Greece.
Yeah, I remember that. So, yeah, we've been at it a while, and today we are joined by my friend Jon Lovett. Jon, hello.
Hi.
Jon now is advised on the Newsroom, creator and head writer of 1600 Penn.
You bet. Cult Classic.
Cult classic television show. Peep it right now. Where can they find it?
I think that they'll print a DVD if you order it from Amazon.
They'll print the DVD for you. It'll show up like when they have to make
one to one. They don't waste a single one of those 1600 Penn DVDs. They make it right for you.
They're $450 a
Fresh
piece.
Fresh squeeze 1600 Penn DVDs.
Voted once the funniest man in Washington.
That's true.
You beat, and then you.
But that's not a great. That's.
I think you beat.
How
Grover.
funny is Washington?
Is that a funny
That's the thing.
place?
It's like being that's like the best pizza in Bangalore.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
So pretty good.
Pretty delicious.
Bangalore's pizza scene is surprising. That's an avant-garde pizza scene, and I've said avant-garde twice in the first 3 minutes of this podcast.
That's
Let's see
okay.
how many
It's
more
a
times
good
I can
word.
get
It's
it
a
in.
multi-use word.
You did stand. I was reading your bio. I'm sorry if this seems weird that I know all this stuff about. You did stand up with Grover Norquist.
Yes.
Once.
That was the night.
That was the night. You
yeah.
beat Grover Norquist.
I bet I did.
That's how was Grover funny?
He does a lot of dad jokes.
Great,
You know,
yeah.
it's a lot of golf and dad related material.
Kind of
He
a
does
Billy
okay.
I love
angle.
golf humor. I love specific jokes about golf.
Yeah. You got to really know golf, though.
Oh, well, I do.
Jared's a big golf guy. He loves
Yeah.
from when it starts all the way till the end.
My passion is the rules of golf.
Not the game so much, but just the nitty gritty, the language of the rules,
The
the
manuals,
bylaws.
yeah.
Perhaps more germane to what we're talking about today, you were also a speechwriter for Barack Obama.
That's right.
And for Senator Hillary Clinton. I sounded so drunk when I said that.
Yeah.
Senator
Well, you are.
Hillary Clinton.
It does reek of booze in
I'm
here.
a lot
hammered.
of
It's
empty-
coming through my pores.
There's a lot of empty bottles.
I pre-gamed for this podcast where we draft politicians. I pre-gamed pretty hard. I had a tea party where I dumped all of the alcohol into my stomach before the podcast.
Nice. That's what that Indian headdress is about.
No, that's a different thing.
Oh, okay.
I've just been tired of being told to stop co-opting things. So I've decided to co-opt everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have Yakuza tattoos underneath my clothing right now too. Dude, since we have you here, Jared, you're into politics and all that stuff.
Sure.
I mean, you're I'm kind of the head of the monologue on the TV show, so you're constantly reading over political
I have
stories.
to read a lot of news, which I honestly did not do as much before I got this job, and now I'm a news head.
Yeah,
A real newster.
big
Makes your
time.
life a little bit worse.
A newsie, yeah.
Yeah.
And John, do you still stay? I mean, you're in the world of Hollywood now, but do you still stay pretty plugged in?
Yeah, well, yes, I can't help myself.
Yeah.
I read everything. I view my Twitter as something important I do for the country.
So it's a service. You should
Yeah.
receive a tax credit.
And
for
now
it.
I'm doing this. I'm doing a political podcast, so I do have to stay in the know.
Oh, that's right. What is that called? Where
Well,
can people find it?
It's Keeping It 1600.
Oh, of course.
But I'm now being added.
You're on the roster now.
Yeah, we're
full
expanding
time.
the universe. Yeah, we'll be doing
I
that
love
once
that
a week.
podcast. I've heard you on there
Oh,
before.
great.
So check out Keep It at 1600 on the Ringers Podcast Network.
Yeah, I forgot I was doing it.
Yeah. You're in on it. That's fantastic. I've enjoyed you on there. So we're not going to go in depth on the current political climate, but what the fuck is happening?
Yeah, we're off the rails.
Yeah.
We are. The train is off the rails. People are pulling each other out of the cars, trying to stay alive.
It's exciting,
This
isn't
is
it?
kind of exciting. Does this see? I mean, how unparalleled is this? This is pretty unparalleled, right?
Yeah, it's no one knows what to do. It's a crazy thing. Everybody's talking about it. Well, there was a time in our lives where all of our excess mental energy wasn't going to thinking about Donald Trump.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I remember when he was just like a New York buffoon who sometimes had a TV show.
Yeah.
And now we're dreaming about him.
He's in our minds all the time.
That's true. I feel like I've had dreams about him. Well, that's been a news story, right? People are having
That
dreams
he's
about
showing
him.
up in people's dreams. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a Freddy Krueger.
He's
Oh, yeah.
he's so ubiquitous.
Right. If he wins in the dream, he wins in real life.
He wins the election. He's polling. People think he's wasting his time in like Mississippi and Mexico. No, he's polling deep within everyone's psyche.
Did
as
you
they
just say
slumber.
he's Freddy Krueger?
Yeah.
Oh my God, yeah.
He's
if
Freddy
he loses,
Krueger.
he'll get his revenge on us.
We have to elect him president, or he'll haunt our dreams for the next 8
Hillary will
years.
be like taking stay awake pills, speed all the time.
Yeah.
Or this is the dream, and when we wake up, he already won.
Oh, this could be.
Yeah.
The dream. Does it seem like? I mean, By the way, I used to enjoy Donald Trump's existence, and I feel like this is the way because I don't think he's going to win.
You can still enjoy it.
He's gone. I feel like the fun Donald Trump is gone forever now.
He's not gonna win.
Yeah.
So really, he's just doing us a favor. He's kind of walking around and reminding us, oh look, it's a lot of racism over here. Like,
Yeah.
he's
Right.
kind of like, ooh, here, look at all this South Carolina. There's a lot right here. Okay, yeah. Oh, Arizona. There's a big nest here. They're laying eggs.
Like he's got like a follow spot.
he's like an
Right,
exterminator that
right.
comes
Yeah.
to your house
Right.
and
He's
points
like,
it out.
He's like the good cop, and he's the one who's sort of tricking all these people into admitting what they really think.
Right? Yeah.
That would be
And then-
amazing if
and
that
then
was
Hillary
the deep
brings
cover
down
thing.
the hammer.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know?
Hey,
You're
it's
gonna jail.
I get it. Yeah. He's bringing the racist part of the country cups of coffee and giving them a sandwich. Yeah.
Right. I'm just saying he gets it. He gets it.
He's also
People
adding.
misunderstand him.
He's adding all these people to the campaign in an interesting way, where he like got that Breitbart guy, and didn't he just hire someone who was part of Citizens United?
At each turn,
Yeah.
he has to fire someone for being heinous and brings on someone more heinous.
Yeah, exponentially more heinous.
It's incredible that these people are available.
Right. And they're like, sure, I'll drop whatever I was doing and come work on the remaining month of this campaign.
Well, he doesn't want to win, and people have come out of his campaign and gone, he's told us he wanted to get to number 2 in the primary.
Yeah.
And so that it would improve his brand. You know, he wants to start a news network or something. He doesn't want to do this.
He definitely, he does a lot of times look like the dog that caught the car.
Yeah.
There's these moments where he wants to be like, this isn't my life. You know, this isn't what I signed. He like when he was handing out supplies in Louisiana.
Yeah.
Oh, miserable.
He had this look on his face like he literally had never had this much contact, human, earnest contact with people he didn't want something from. And you saw the same look when he was in Mexico, this kind of deer in headlights, I'm in over my head. Why am I here?
Yeah.
How did this happen?
Yeah. I think someone submitted a joke on the show that didn't get on, but it was like, it looks like he's been hit with like a tranq dart.
Yeah.
Just so he could give his like Mexico address. Like they were like, he'll go rogue. Hit him with the fucking tranquilizers.
Make him so sleepy he can't get like a Hitler Youth thing going with the
he
crowd.
was slow motion Trump. Anytime he uses prompter, he turns into zombie Trump.
Yeah.
It's like Chris Pratt with a clicker from Jurassic World. I'm the alpha.
He's all right. With the people he's co-opting, I'm worried. I mean, one of two things could be happening. He could be exposing all these people, bringing on the Breitbart guy and the Citizens United guy, and now they've worked on a failed campaign. Or is he like legitimizing it? Which of those things do you think is happening? Or both? Is it both?
I think there's going to be. I think there's these like there's two big things that Trump is sort of normalizing, and one of them is racism.
Yeah.
And who knows if that lasts or not? I think that's an open question that depends on people inside the Republican Party and a lot of other kind of factors of who runs and who doesn't and all the rest. But the thing that makes me actually more worried, because I do think this Trump racism, we are saved by the fact that it's a bad strategy.
Yeah.
Like, there have been so many Republicans who've been like, you know, I could forgive a lot of these horrible comments, but I don't think he's going to win. And that really bothers me.
Yeah.
And so his greatest sin is having a bad strategy. So racism not working in America anymore long term, that's a great thing.
Yes.
And that hopefully that's a lesson they can try and learn again, even though they tried to learn it with the autopsy of, you know, the so-called autopsy in 2012. The thing that makes me more afraid is this other side of what Trump does, which is also dangerous, which is the fact that your campaign's rhetoric and message doesn't have to make sense.
Yeah.
You can really say whatever, that the connection between your policies, your proposals, and what you say and what you said in the past, that if you try hard enough, you can completely sever the connection between those things.
Yeah.
And it just doesn't seem like there's enough bad consequences for that. There are. It's not great.
Right. There's slight consequences.
But it's pretty clear that you can get away with more than I think we understood that you could get away with, in part because no one ever really tried.
And that's going to have ramifications because other people are going to go, oh, I can do that
there
too.
will be smarter
and
people who do that.
And they'll be smarter than
who
him.
actually want to be president.
Well, that's the thing. Like, Trump is like this fascism fire drill, you know, and he's like, and we're all walking out slowly, and then we're seeing like these stairwells should be wider, or we need brighter lights on the floor, because he's just like does a disservice to fascists because he just doesn't have the discipline. Like, he's not good enough at this to be fascist. So he has all this rhetoric that he can't seem to follow. His lack of discipline is ultimately what's undoing him. And I think the fact that there's just not a big enough pool of white people who didn't go to college.
Right.
Left
He
anymore.
has an immovable base, but the base is smaller than maybe he gambled it would be.
Right.
But is he normalizing racism? Maybe I don't understand that phrase, because to me it's always been there. He's just kind of, to me, I like the fact that we're like, we try to ignore this, or people want to say things are post-racial, or they want to say like, oh, it's a lot better than it was 50 years ago, but it's not at all, even a little bit. And I think he just kind of is like reminding us that.
Except, I think people say, oh, you know, Trump came in and he's just dredging all this stuff that was there. But here's the thing. Sometimes when there's mud at the bottom of the lake, it's good to leave it there. The lake was better before the mud was all up in the water. Like, we could live with the mud down there,
right.
But now he's made it okay to say certain things. My hope is the dog. He sort of exchanged the traditional Republican dog whistle, which liberals have been complaining about forever.
Yeah.
And he said, like, I'm just going to use a real whistle.
Right.
I'm going to use a megaphone and a whistle and some bells, and I'll get a band.
Yeah.
And that's not working. And the question is, will they go back to the kind of old-fashioned talking around it, eliding their views, or will smarter, younger conservatives take the helm and maybe say, you know what, let's really, really turn the page on this kind of politics? And I don't know.
I don't know how you can turn down such a successful strategy in the future, how people can't see that and go, oh, this is so successful. If I just have the discipline and if I'm just a little bit smarter about it, this is going to work.
Yeah, except it's a strategy to win 40% of the Republican vote.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
On the thing of like people talking around racism a little bit, when I was doing Indecision in 2012.
Indecision on Comedy Central.
Yeah, I talked to a guy who was like the BuzzFeed political guy or whatever. And he said that when they were going around in 2008 and Obama was getting elected, in every state they would talk to people who were conservative, and they would talk around it. They'd be like, well, you know, I don't really know where Obama's from. Like, we need to answer some questions about his origins. But then when they went to
was that an Irish accent?
Yes, it was. Yeah. But when they went to...
He was deep in South Boston.
I was in, When I went to my home state, they went to my home state of West Virginia, people were just like, he's black. How are you going to vote for him? He's a black guy.
They just came right out and said it.
Yeah.
And these are now the people who
That's
are
why I love
unshakably
the
Trump
fucking
people.
morons of my shitty home state.
Right, because there's no veil.
They're just openly foolish. Yeah.
Speaking of openly foolish, where can people find you on social media if they want to keep track of you guys?
I'm openly foolish at Jared Logan.
On Twitter? Do you
On Twitter,
you have Instagram, you like posting pictures or anything like that?
I really should, but I don't have
No, you
any
shouldn't.
beach pics that I...
Why should you? Why should any of us?
Well, no, it's people seem to enjoy it. They
I
seem
see.
to get a lot of enjoyment from it, don't
Yeah,
they?
I guess that's right. I didn't mean
It's
to
also
get
a
negative
massive
on
waste
you.
of time. John's going dark early.
I just don't. I have the same attitude you have, which is like, fuck that fucking shit. And then I'm like, that's extreme.
Yeah.
You know?
You just happen to catch Jared. It's Friday. We're just out of work. Have a 3-day weekend. So now Jared's feeling very positive about the entire.
Yeah.
I think if this happened on a Tuesday, he'd agree with you 100%.
Yeah.
I have an Instagram account, but because it's because I'm a narcissist and I need those likes.
You need
Yeah.
those likes.
Yeah.
Get me those likes.
Give me those likes. John, where can people find you? Other than you're on 1600, Cuban 1600.
My Twitter, you know, at Jon Lovett.
At
No
Jon
H in
Lovett.
John.
There's no H in John. Lovett.
You bet.
Yeah, girl. Yeah. So follow these two, and we spent enough time talking about the current political landscape. Let's start talking about the political landscape we're creating via All Fantasy Everything.
Yes.
And then maybe there'd be some music here. I don't know. We haven't really engineered it yet.
The fantasy political landscape.
The fantasy political landscape. We might even just leave this part where I'm sort of talking like it's a placeholder.
We should call it the Imaginarium.
Oh, yeah. Of Dr. Panarsis?
Right, of Dr. Parnassus.
I think it'd be a shame to cut this.
It would be a shame to cut this. We need to let the...
This shit's gold, baby.
Let's show them how the sausage is made and see if they still want to eat the sausage. All right, so the way we're going to determine who goes first is the ultra scientific method of rock paper scissors. Now,
Okay.
where you draft in a fantasy draft can be strategy. So if you win, you can decide to go first if you want, second, or third. As our guest, John, Jared, I'm going to let you guys play rock paper scissors. It's one round of it, rock paper scissors, and then it's out. There's no shoot.
Rock, paper, scissor,
and then it's out. Yeah, so it is shoot. Yeah.
So on scissor, no. It's
No.
rock, paper, scissor, go.
bam.
And now, what are the rules? Okay, let's do it.
You ready?
Yep. Rock, paper, scissors.
It's a tie. 2 scissors.
I always forgot the podcast.
Yeah.
You got to describe it.
Talking them through
Play
it.
by play.
I got it. You guys get in the game.
All right,
Ooh.
there it is.
2 scissors in a row for John, and he won. Do you want
We're
to go
describing
first?
it. We're describing it. John has delicate, handsome hands.
Beautiful hands.
Oh, they're very nice.
Yeah.
No, I have
Elegant
the hands of a younger, more athletic man.
Yeah.
Well kept, well groomed.
It's a good hand.
These could be swimmer's hands.
Absolutely. All you do, you're either in a pool or just lotioning them up. That's
Yeah,
it.
just
That's your
keeping
whole
them
life.
nice and moisturized.
Not a
You look like
hangnail
a
in
3
sight.
3 to 4 times a week manicure minimum. You know, but that's just natural. That's just the natural.
I'm going to go third.
All right, there it is. You're going third. Jared, where would you like to go, first or second?
Well, seeing as how we're drafting from all humans, real and fictional
Yeah.
in history, I better go first so my picks don't get taken.
That's right. We are drafting, by the way, we're picking our cabinets from all of humanity.
Yes.
When we started talking, the idea of fictional people got brought up, and I said, listen, why not?
Yeah.
All right? Why not? Maybe they weren't born in the U.S. and they can't be president, and we'll have that discussion later.
I think we'll be able to decide after we hear each of our picks who's going to have the most effective administration.
Absolutely. I mean, you're going to have to
that's the real
justify
winner.
it.
Yeah.
And we're going to have to find out. All right, fantastic. Jared Logan, you have the first pick in the presidential cabinet version of All Fantasy Everything. You are now on the clock. There's no clock.
Can I pick any of the positions, or
You can pick any of the positions.
All right. I am afraid she's going to get taken. So for Secretary of State,
Yes.
I choose Shakira,
Shakira.
the pop singer.
Why did you choose a Colombian pop singer to be the
Born in Colombia,
Born in Colombia.
of Lebanese descent.
Okay.
Shakira speaks English, Portuguese, and Italian.
Yeah.
And has sold over 60 million albums worldwide.
You should point out for your listeners that he is wearing a Shakira t-shirt.
He is in full Shakira regalia. You were
that makes
singing.
sense. I was going to ask about it.
Yeah.
It felt rude, but now I get it.
You totally get it. You're just a huge Shakira fan. You were singing Shakira at work all day today.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yes, I just feel like she's sold 60 million albums worldwide. This is my deep research. One time I heard some kind of NPR thing about people in like Iran and like countries that are very much somewhat against the West, or don't really relate to the West, still love Shakira's music.
Really?
Or maybe it was like North Korea does like versions of her songs that are like legal in their country. Like, she could go anywhere and people would just be like, Shakira! And then she'll have like some kind of like smarty farty kind of like, I know how trade laws work guy like right behind her telling her what to say.
Right.
But I can think of no better way to bring together the nations of the earth under the American banner than using Shakira's hit song, Try Everything, from the Disney film Zootopia.
Now, that was actually a song about racial profiling, if I remember.
Racial unprofiling.
Right.
That's her angle on
obviously.
it. Are you worried that if she's in a high stakes situation with a high stakes diplomatic situation,
A Benghazi, if you will.
Benghazi, if you will, Shakira knows she has to lie, but her hips can't.
That's true.
Oh, that's so interesting.
So what?
That's an
So the
interesting
game,
problem.
the political game of
Her
chess
hips
gets
can't lie, and that's a job that requires occasional. Can her hips bend the truth?
Yeah,
Can her hips avoid some truths some of the time? Can her hips diplomatically avoid a few truths?
Can that
Probably.
happen?
It's not ruled out by the lyrics.
It's not, the lyrics don't state it. Can they lie via leaving things out? Or lie of omission?
I think when you watch Shakira's hips move, even if you may disagree with what they're revealing, you can't help but dance along with them.
That's true. She's South American, but of Lebanese descent.
Yes.
So she has a foothold in the Middle East.
Technically
which is
kind of British in a way. She
what-
ties together every nation of the earth in one individual.
How is she technically British?
Whenever, wherever, Shakira is you. You are Shakira.
So you've set the tone of this immediately by picking Shakira to be the Secretary of State.
Some of my picks will seem better qualified. Okay. But I think when
How
you
is that
look,
possible?
Wait,
How could there be?
but I think when you look at American foreign policy, you'll realize that there's a lot of things even Shakira might have handled better.
In this
That was trenchant.
I am a political genius.
Let's put Shakira in Henry Kissinger's role during Vietnam. Do you think it ends better?
I do.
Yeah.
I do.
Absolutely.
Knowing very little about Vietnam or Kissinger, I just feel like Shakira would have gotten us out earlier.
She definitely would have.
She would have done a big concert. The North Vietnamese and the Americans and everybody would have come together and they would have listened and they would have been like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
What are we doing here?
And just by sheer odds, she probably would be less okay with war crimes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just based on how far Kissinger is on the okay with war crime spectrum.
I'm going to go ahead and, I don't know this for certain, but I think she's anti-war crimes. I think I've heard her, like, she might have said something about that.
I mean,
we'll have to ask her and then look at how her hips move.
We'll look at it. All right, Jared, that's the first pick of the first round of the presidential cabinet All Fantasy Everything.
Beat that.
Shakira as Secretary of State.
That's right.
The top diplomat of our country. Shakira,
Yeah.
not even born here. Is she an American citizen?
No, I don't think so.
Can you be Secretary of State if you're not?
100%. You know who wasn't born here?
Kissinger?
Madeleine Albright.
Oh, Madeleine Albright.
Maybe not Kissinger, too. Yeah. You just don't get in the line of secession.
Yeah.
You know?
So you just got to sit it out.
So that's just a promotion for whoever's after that.
You'd almost want a foreign-born Secretary of State, because that way they're not engineering your assassination in sort of a Kiefer Sutherland,
Yeah.
Right.
designated survivor sort
That's
of
another
way.
point on the Shakira board.
Good. Yeah, Shakira, you can if you're assassinated, she doesn't take over for you.
So she's not behind
Because we
it.
don't want a Shakira presidency.
No, that's too much power.
Yeah.
And it would cut into her singing time, which I assume she's still doing in this scenario.
This is her primary means of diplomacy.
Christina Aguilera killed in a drone strike with President Shakira.
That's too much power. Yeah, that's too much power on her hands. Yeah,
Yeah.
she would send the National Guard to the VMAs to get her back in there. All right, I have the second pick of the first round, and with the second pick of the first round, I'm going to pick my vice president, and I'm going to pick former President Bill Clinton, and have him be my vice president. Only because I think all of the things we love about Joe Biden, if you put Bill Clinton in that role, would be even slightly better. I
Yeah.
want to see Bill Clinton eating ice cream. I want to see him snuggling with biker chicks. I want to see all of these things. I think if you took him out of the pressure of being president, he'd just be a lot more fun. It's just his job to be fun, have a good time, and cheer up whoever's president. That's it.
That's not all of the vice president's
I think
job.
that's all
I think
they
you
do,
are
right?
that he would be, if he didn't have all the eyes on him, like you're president, you
Yeah.
have to be, like he would be a lot more fun. Bill would be a lot more fun. Yeah, I assume you want 1990s Bill.
I want
or even 1980s Bill.
I think
Holy crap.
Holy
I don't know
shit,
if
that guy was a wild man.
I think I want 1991 campaign trail, Arsenio Hall.
yeah, that's what you
Playing
want.
the sax.
Playing the saxophone.
Talking about boxer briefs.
There's going to be a lot more boxer briefs. There's going to be a lot more saxophone when he's vice president.
Going into the McDonald's, eating the McDonald's. Didn't he do that?
Right.
jogging through the drive-thru.
And this is like full fat Bill Clinton too. I don't want the skinny vegan Bill Clinton that we have
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah.
Even though he's wonderful, I'm glad he's on the planet. I don't want him in my administration.
Yeah.
And if he wants to have sex with some people, I'm fine with that too. I'm completely fine with that. He's going to have to take it up with his wife, but in the vice presidential role, I'm fine with that kind of scandal in my administration.
I think I think we're due for a vice presidential sex scandal.
Yeah.
And I think it would jazz up the vice presidential position a little more, make it more
Make it a little
interesting for
sexier.
people.
Make it a little more
Yeah.
fun and sexy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Joe Biden's been an amazing. That was the logic I followed. I've loved Joe Biden's vice presidency. I just want to see it stepped up. I want to see it taken to its logical
You
extreme.
want Biden squared.
Yeah, I want Biden squared.
Can you be? I know that's in your time travel wonky scenario.
Yeah.
This doesn't apply, but
This
can
is
you
91
be
Bill Clinton,
the vice
remember.
president after you've been the president?
So I think this is like an open question. I think scholars debate this very question.
Really?
I do. It's been talked about.
You would just
talked about.
you'd be out
Yeah,
of the
and I thought of
succession.
like a scholarly shit thing.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah.
I told you we were smart.
Because the job of the vice president is to be able to take over as president.
Right.
Right? But the Constitution says you can't be elected president twice. But he won't have been elected president twice.
He would have
Something
fallen
like
in.
that.
He
I may be
line
getting
of
this
successioned
wrong.
into it.
This
I don't know.
this does feel like a time travel thing.
Yeah.
Like if the president died and the vice president had already been president for 8 years and then he became the president,
And Shakira's Secretary of State, who's going to fall into
Oh my
What's
God.
gonna happen?
Keeps going further down the ladder.
it ends up being the agriculture guy.
Yeah.
little show called, isn't that show coming to CBS?
Designated
Like, as we-
Survivor on
Really?
CBS.
It's happening.
Yeah. Kiefer Sutherland is like the Secretary of Agriculture,
And they
everyone
kill
else
the
gets wiped
administration.
out.
This is real.
This is a real show starring your boy, son of Donald, Kiefer Sutherland.
Dude, Kiefer picks all the best shows.
All the
Remember
right
that
roles.
one he did on Fox where he had a magically autistic child
Oh, that's right. He
who
did.
could use the numbers to predict the future. Did you see that?
It was
Was
short-lived.
that just the plot of Mercury Rising?
It probably was the plot of that too. For a while, there were like 22 things that had magical autistic children in them.
Yeah. Everyone got very numbered. It was like, let's take the fun number thing about the Da Vinci Code and completely ruin it, right?
Yeah. Ruin the Da Vinci
Ruin
Code.
the Da Vinci
Ruin that
Code.
perfect work of art.
God, I watched it the other night. I did. I put it on. I was stoned. And granted, this informs this conversation. I was stoned, put on the Da Vinci Code, 15 minutes into it. I was like, no. I couldn't even enjoy it on that level. His hair,
Yeah.
really takes
15
me
minutes
out
of
it.
giggling about his hair, and then you're out.
His hair, he has Nicolas Cage hair in that movie. It literally looks like they took Nicolas Cage hair and grafted it onto his body. The main role, Tom Hanks.
Yeah.
Second listing, Nicolas Cage's hair. It's awful.
Second on the call sheet.
Second on the call sheet, yeah. And then Million Cotillard. No, that's not the one.
No, it was
What's
Audrey Tautou.
Oh, yeah, Audrey Tautou.
Amélie.
Which is, you remember that Lil Wayne song, Amélie? Yeah, that Amélie. Maybe you don't. Maybe our listeners do.
Yeah, and of course I remember that Lil Wayne song.
Very
into Lil Wayne.
A fun thing to do if you want to interact with that song in a different way is pretend he's saying Amelie. And
Like
the whole
he's a big
song,
fan of the movie Amelie.
he loves whimsy. Yeah, Lil Wayne's favorite thing. He drinks a bunch of promethazine syrup and then can't wait to get about 2 to 2.5 hours of whimsy into his life. Yeah. Anyway, that's just a fun thing I do to make my life a little bit better. I'm taking Bill Clinton as vice president, and I'm pretty happy with that. I like him. I mean, on all the logical things, I think he's a smart guy. I think he knows, he can be a close confidant for my eventual president. But then more than anything, I just want him to be a fun party guy. I would like him in a Hawaiian shirt 3 days a week.
All right, now we're just changing the rules of how the government's run. But
Well,
okay.
I mean, I can't say that has to happen, but I feel that my prediction is that by year 2, we're seeing 3 days a week minimum of Hawaiian
Who's going to say no to him? Who's going to say boo?
Yeah, who's going to say a goddamn
Nobody.
thing to Bill Clinton and his Tommy Bahama shirt collection? These aren't Hawaiian ones, by the way. Very lame Hawaiian shirt, Tommy Bahama brand. All right, that's my pick and my scree against Tommy Bahama for some reason. John, you have the final pick of the first round.
So I'm also going to name my vice president.
All right, fantastic.
It's funny that you should mention the works of Tom Hanks because I'm thinking, what do you want in a vice president?
Oh,
All
my
right?
God.
What do you want?
Oh, my God.
Okay. You want someone who's incredibly talented in their own right.
Yes.
Okay. Someone who could take over the show if need be. Right.
Yeah.
But someone who isn't afraid to take a back seat, who knows their role. Okay. Who isn't threatened by other success. You want Rita Wilson.
Rita Wilson.
Rita Wilson.
Wow. Tom Hanks is kind of vice president in that marriage a little bit.
The vice president of Hanks.
Of Hanks.
You want Rita Wilson every single day of the week in that job. All right.
That's an amazing pick. I thought you were about to go with Tom Hanks.
Well,
The way you were setting
She
that
is
up.
just an
You know
actress and not even an extremely well-known one.
Yeah. She's well, she sings too. Rita Wilson also sings.
and how dare you?
Yeah.
Okay. How dare
Don't
you?
compare my Secretary of State, an international superstar, to Rita Wilson. I'm sorry.
Listen. If album sales dictated political success, well, some other people would have had a
They
lot
would've
of
gone off
success.
it. Yeah,
Right,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
I'm not good at roasting.
Too nice for
Well,
Dude, we weren't
Well,
even going to call you
there-
out on that. We were just going to go, good point.
There
well
are
made.
people. We are all, I think, a little too nice to roast too hard.
Yeah. I don't roast at all.
Yeah.
I suck at roasting.
Rita Wilson's an interesting pick. Rita Wilson, one heartbeat away from the presidency in this scenario.
I'm just saying, you don't want Tom Hanks in that job. Tom
Yeah.
Hanks upstages every single person on screen with him.
Plus, then you take him
Yeah.
out of the. He's
I
not
want you
doing
to think
movies.
about the job of president. I want you to think about whoever's in that role.
Yeah.
You don't want Tom Hanks's charismatic leading man guy behind you.
Yeah.
You want Rita Wilson, a great supporting actress who livens up every single movie she's in without stealing the spotlight because
Tom
she doesn't
Hanks-
care about that.
Tom Hanks would upstage your president. He would just show up and be like,
He's
Larry
like-
Crown on deck.
Yeah.
Like in the movie Larry Crown.
Right. That's his. Well, look, we all know the line.
Yeah.
His most famous movie, Larry Crown. I have to raise a there's a possible controversy here. Having Rita Wilson as your vice president. Colin Hanks, the kid we all know and love.
Yeah, he's amazing.
We love Colin Hanks.
Favorite actor.
I'm
going to call it favorite actor Colin Hanks.
probably the best actor ever. They have that other kid, Chet Hayes.
I just don't know about checking the Wikipedia mid-draft.
I'm not checking Wikipedia. Chet Hayes is off the top.
No,
Chet Hayes is also their child?
Chet Hayes.
Why isn't his name Hanks?
His
Is he
last
like
name
Jon
is Hanks.
Snow?
His name is Hanks, but he's a rapper, and he goes by the name Chet Hayes, and he's not a good rapper. And he used the N-word in a song and didn't understand why that was not an okay thing for him to do.
close
Well-
personal friend. I'm stepping out of it.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You're close.
John can't comment on the Chet Hayes
Come
controversy.
on,
I don't get involved.
even Tom and Rita won't claim him.
Yeah, they made him change his last name to Hayes.
As vice president, Rita would just have to have Chet Hayes assassinated.
What is your favorite Rita Wilson role or movie?
I'm going to do my best to name all of my favorites.
Okay.
They include Sleepless in Seattle.
Yes.
Go ahead.
That's a real good one.
I
It
loved her.
feels like she was in Forget Paris, but that's probably wrong.
Was she not in Forget Paris and You've Got Mail?
She was in, I'm looking it up right now. Now you're glad I'm on her Wikipedia. She was in, let's see here. She started in a TV show called Spin Out.
In which she crushed it.
And then she was in The Brady Bunch.
Crushed it.
Cheech and Chong's next movie.
Fine.
Nice.
Must be a liberal administration.
Great.
Bosom Buddies, which must be where she met your boy Tom Hanks.
So we know how she feels about transgender
Yeah.
roles.
She's okay with
And
that.
she loves it.
Yeah.
She thinks it's hilarious.
MASH, Three's Company, Volunteers, 227. She was in 1989's Teen Witch as dancer. She was in The Bonfire of the Vanities, Tales from the Crypt, Sleepless in Seattle, Mixed Nuts, Now and Then, a classic. You've just locked up the female vote of anyone under, I'm going to say 40, with
Yeah.
the Now and Then appearance. Jingle All the Way, of course. I loved her in Jingle All the
Oh,
Way.
yeah.
She was good in Jingle All the Way.
I'm just saying, these are movies that are successful in all four of the quadrants. All right? As her vice presidency would surely be. She brings a lot to the ticket. She takes certain swing states and she just moves them into the solid red territory. She's a right-wing Republican in my telling.
Is she? Oh no.
No, just in
well,
my-
here
just
she was in the movie Old Dogs, so I think she might actually be able to get you some of those red states.
Dude, I saw Old Dogs in my red state with my red state family.
Now, Old Dogs is like...
It's not Wild Hogs, but
what
it's
was the
like
one
Wild
about
Hogs,
old
right?
astronauts? It's not. I thought it was.
That's Space Cowboys.
That's
so
Space Cowboys.
but this is like Space Cowboys on the ground. That's what Old Dogs is.
Well, there's no.
I'm thinking of Wild Hogs.
There's no astronauting at all. It's just about
what's the-
two old guys, Robin Williams, may he rest in peace,
R.I.P.
and John Travolta.
May he soon die.
May he die and burn in hell.
Wait, wasn't Travolta also in Wild Hogs?
Yes, he was.
Yes.
He's the connective thread.
And Old
And Tim
Dogs.
Allen's in Wild
Yeah.
Hogs.
I don't know if you saw it, but it was one of those movies that they didn't finish, but then just put it in the movie theaters anyway.
I love
like
when
it's
that
like not finished. Like it's like you're like, wow, you guys didn't even do the Dolby or whatever on this. Yeah. and yet they were like, here you go, and then
there's just that they're all looking out into a vista, and there's just a big blue wall that says Vista TK.
yeah, I mean it's literally that bad.
I will say she was in a movie called Jutopia, playing the character of Arlene Lipschitz, which may isolate the alt-right. But if you didn't need him in the first place.
We don't need him anymore.
All right,
We don't need him
fantastic.
anymore.
Shakira sang a song on that too. In Jutopia.
In Jutopia?
Yeah, she does all the Topia movies.
She's got herself a nice little corner cordoned off. All right, fantastic. So you pick as your vice president Rita Wilson, the consummate right-hand man or woman. She's great supporting actress, great supporting person in life. Fortunately, you also have the first pick of the second round, and I'm excited to see where you go with this.
Okay, let's do White House Chief of Staff.
Okay, we want chief of
Great.
staff.
Now let's think about this job for a second.
Yeah.
We got to think about what the job is. All right. Here's what you're doing. All right. You're dealing with a lot of dumpster fires.
Yep.
Okay. You're dealing with a lot of messes. Okay.
Yeah.
You need to be on top of a lot of stuff. You need to be OCD. Okay. But who are you going to want? All right. You want someone who's going to be able to deal with a lot of messes and who's OCD.
Yeah.
You want Marc Summers from Double Dare.
Oh my God!
Nice. Yeah. Good. I see what you did there.
You see it?
Yeah.
You see it? Deals with a lot of messes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he deals with his whole life.
So
he's dealt
I
with
just wanna
meth.
make sure I got it right.
By your
Hold on.
logic, another good choice would be a fireman to put out fires.
A fireman who has to go home because he thinks he left the dishwasher on.
Yes.
Yeah, Marc Summers.
Mark
I like
Summers.
it.
He's affable as hell too.
Right, he's charming.
He's so nice
he's
and
picking
charming.
up the phone. He's calling up congressmen. He's charming the pants out of them. He's getting the votes. Then he's vacuuming the carpet.
Yeah.
And he famously vacuumed him. He would vacuum the carpet and then have to step out of the room. You can't see it, but I'm doing that motion.
Yeah.
And until the room was perfectly carpeted, perfectly vacuumed.
Really?
And then he'd have to do it again.
Are you not worried that his OCD might plague him to the point where he can no longer perform the duties of the job?
So here's the thing. I'm I'm pretty confident that Vice President Rita Wilson knows how to handle Marc when he gets into that place.
Great.
Yeah.
And so she's a shoulder for him.
She definitely is a shoulder to cry on type. Right?
Yeah. You know what, Marc? You lean on me. The country leans on you.
Wow.
I'm worried about something, though. I feel like you're, because the chief of staff is sort of in charge of the staff and sort of hiring the whole staff. You're going to have just like a lot of kids in jumpsuits kind of running around and him going,
t-shirts.
Go, come on!
Yeah.
You got to get the flag!
You know what? Big improvement on some of those jokers in Washington.
There we go! That's the kind of trenchant commentary we're going for.
Some of these clowns over there in the Beltway.
Yeah.
I thought kids in jumpsuits are who were running it already.
I'm excited. Now this
people with alien bugs in their brain.
You haven't picked, none of us in fact have picked a president yet, which is amazing. But it's going to be interesting because I mean the chief of staff, that's like a close confidant of the president, for the most part.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So I'm excited to see. I wonder if your president's going to be a gigantic nose filled with balloons and one ribbon.
No, it's a kiddie pool filled with snot.
Fantastic. Marc Summers has stayed working. Because he's on, what is that show he has on like the Food Network or Travel Channel where he like takes you Unwrapped, where he takes you behind
food shows.
Yeah, he does food shows now.
Love a food show.
And he has like crippling OCD, right?
You are at the sum total of my knowledge of this man.
Yeah. Maybe not crippling. Well, I'll tell you some other things about him because I pulled up his Wikipedia too. He's from Indianapolis, and that's all I'll say. He's from Indianapolis.
Got it.
Yeah, 2 kids, married to the same person since 1974.
Family man.
Oh, I like that.
Isn't that nice?
Family man.
True love.
Marc Summers. He's handsome, too. I'd love to see him dress up a little bit more.
Yeah.
We haven't seen him in a suit, really, since Doubleday.
You don't really see the chief of staff, though, on camera a lot, right?
Is that true? I guess that's true. That seems like a button-up, no-tie kind of person.
Yeah.
But you know what, though? We'll use him however we want. We can send him out there.
Yeah.
Charismatic.
He's got the skills.
Make the case, he and Rita getting hitting the talk show circuit Sunday morning, sitting across from Chuck Todd.
The media are asking him questions. He's asking them questions like, which of these presidents is not on Mount Rushmore?
Putting Chuck Todd's feet to the fire.
Yeah.
All right. Now I've come to really like the Marc Summers pick as well.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I think it all depends on the chemistry with the president, but we'll see. We'll see what you have up your sleeve.
We will.
And it is now my turn to make my second pick, the second pick of the second round. I'm going to do it. I'm going to try to steer this thing back out of this world of fantasy that we've built for ourselves. I'm picking my president, and I'm going to make it the Theodore Roosevelt Jr., Teddy Roosevelt. And I have reasons for that. He had asthma. I had asthma as a kid. Makes him relatable. We like that. He founded the Bull Moose Party, and if you just got an invitation, said you're invited to the Bull Moose Party, you're fucking going to that party.
I think I'd vote that party if that was a choice.
If the Bull Moose Party was still around,
not knowing their platform at all,
right?
It feels right.
I bet if right now you made up a name and said he was running on the Bull Moose line, he would do well.
I think he would do. If Gary Johnson picked up the banner of the Bull Moose Party, that's I think 5%. That's 5% jump.
That's a spot on the debate stage.
I just love the fucking name. That party, that sounds dope. They'd have like they'd have a bull head or a moose head on the wall. They'd have a hat on,
It's like a lodge.
Man. I'm a simple man.
Yeah. It's like a...
But he
has
an Elks Lodge, big steins of beer.
He was a charismatic dude. He was a progressive, but but he was also a Rough Rider. He was in the military. He was an outdoorsman. So I think he appeals to every part of the country.
Conservationist?
He was a big time conservationist.
National parks.
Yeah.
And kill a fair number of elephants.
He did kill a lot of elephants.
Yeah.
But we had more elephants back then.
And nobody's perfect.
We didn't know.
Well, he wanted to conserve so there are more animals for him to kill.
Yeah. Well, he had to raise the issue. He was like, eventually these elephants are going to die. Let's get to the point where they're endangered faster. So he killed more of them. He was just a trust buster too. Like right now, he'd be going after these big banks, after the companies that are too big to fail.
Wasn't he shot one time and he survived? Or am I coming up with some bullshit?
I think he was shot and finished the speech he was giving while there was a bullet in him.
That feels true.
That definitely happened to somebody. And let's just say it was Teddy Roosevelt.
Yeah.
That's right.
I just think head on Mount Rushmore, by the way, Marc Summers.
Could pull off a mustache.
And he could pull off a mustache. Here's the one drawback, and I'm going to now criticize my own president. I'm not a huge fan of the circle glasses.
Yeah,
You
the
know.
John Lennons.
I don't love the John Lennon look.
Yeah.
I think 2016 we put him in maybe more of a square frame or even
Right.
contact lenses.
I like being in a...
Contact. Set your sights higher. Let's get Teddy Roosevelt some LASIK.
Yeah. Oh,
Oh,
that's
yeah, of
beautiful.
course.
We're putting him under,
He would love that.
Yeah. Which would make my vice president, Bill Clinton, would briefly be president
Have
while...
that Jewish man fire that laser beam in my face.
Yeah,
again.
and he would say that because he doesn't know any better.
He doesn't know any
We'd
better.
get him a little media training. He would
Yeah.
put his foot in his mouth quite a bit, and I did he try. I think he also was made football safe. So there's another thing
He did. Let's say he did.
I think he did.
I see one way of him being very effective
Yeah.
when you bring up the Mount Rushmore thing. Of like, if someone's in an argument with him being like, "Can I ask you a question?
Mm-hmm.
Which of our heads is on the side of a mountain
Yeah.
in South Dakota?"
Right.
was that me or you? I forget. I'm
Like,
honestly forgetting.
yeah, is it because it's if it's you, I'll shut up.
Yeah.
And then like even in debates, just holding up a picture of Mount Rushmore,
Of Mount
for his
Rushmore.
answer. Like,
Yeah.
come on,
I'm on Mount Rushmore, and then the
Yeah.
other guy, or in this
hard to argue with that.
In this alternate reality, is he not on there? Let's say that's the case.
So like
in
it's
this
a
alternate
Demolition Man
reality.
thing.
It's a
and
Demolition
Arnold
Man.
Schwarzenegger's on the mountain.
Who's up there
Yes,
instead?
okay.
It's Schwarzenegger. Yeah.
Well, in that case, he's still effective. I
think he's still.
we
I
know.
don't know why I'm trying to talk you
We've
guys
seen
out of
him
my
do the
pick.
job.
We've seen him do the job. He went on after his presidency. He didn't stick around and do charitable works. No, he went on a safari in Africa, and then he went on a 2-year expedition in the Amazon, where he almost died, and I think his son did. So,
And we also know that he can help solve mysteries.
Yeah.
If you read the Caleb Carr novel, The Alienist,
absolutely,
that?
we were all thinking that.
which Teddy
are you
Roosevelt,
guys-
while he was like the head of the chief of police of New York City, helps a psychologist solve a mystery.
This
in turn of the
this is
century,
some
New York.
fun historical fiction.
Yeah,
And
you
he's
guys
a-
have all read the book.
Yeah, it's canon, absolutely. Does he say bully?
Teddy Roosevelt cannon.
Does he say bully a lot in it?
Yeah, he goes, "Bully, I found a clue.
Bully.
Bully."
I mean, glasses mustache. We haven't had a glasses mustache president since Teddy
Oh,
Roosevelt.
we haven't had a mustache in how
We
long?
haven't.
The last mustache.
When was
What
the
a-
last mustache
What
president?
a question.
That's
Huh?
fun.
Listeners?
Huh? Think about now.
Tweet
do
in
we
with
play
your
like-
answers,
Yeah.
and the person who's right will get a headgum jukebox.
Yeah,
It's a full
fully
working
operated-
jukebox.
It's worth $16,000.
It's $16,000.
Yeah.
Say you have to pay shipping and tax on
Yeah,
it.
That
but it
is-
is
yeah.
only Shakira songs.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's all that's on. Who
60
was the last
million
president
albums,
with a
guys.
mustache?
Honestly,
was it?
though, you give somebody a jukebox with only Shakira songs, they don't know it only has Shakira songs on it.
Because they're like, I'm not going to not pick Shakira.
They're like, look, there's a Spanish version of this song too.
Mm-hmm.
It's like having two songs.
There's that song she did with Sting that they're probably going to listen to, which I assume exists. I'm not sure.
Damn, you
But I
guys
bet
are really
she-
loving my pick.
I bet she's done a song with Sting. It is getting the most chatter. And in fact, I don't even remember what we were talking. Oh, mustaches. We haven't had I would have loved Obama to bust out a mustache at some point.
Yeah, that would have been cool.
Yeah,
Right. Maybe that's a lame duck thing. That's a
That
last
is.
2 weeks thing.
That's a good idea.
just like a nice thin,
It feels like
thin mustache.
Nobody who holds political office really goes in for facial hair anymore. Not in the last 50 years, it feels
Yeah,
like.
you used to be able to show up with just a crazy beard.
Yeah.
You
In
could
fact,
just
it
be
was
like,
better.
I got a crazy beard going. I am president.
Just rocking a Ulysses S. Grant look.
Yeah.
Just thick.
Yeah.
Keeping a pen in there, when
Right.
you need it.
Handlebar mustaches. What are those things called? I want to say lamb chops.
Yeah.
chops.
Mutton chops.
chops. Oh, we had some great fucking. It was a Chet Arthur. Didn't he have some mutton
Yeah.
chops on him?
For sure.
Yeah. I mean, let's say he did.
No, I think you're right.
I think he did, right?
Garfield
Garfield.
or Cleveland. One of them had. I think they may have both had mustaches.
If Trump's whole "Make America Great Again" thing was just in regards to politicians having massive facial hair, I'd have his back.
I mean, dead serious. If
Yeah.
somebody was qualified, had done all the other work, and then also popped a mustache right
Yeah.
now and ran, I feel like it could be a real big thing for them.
That's something the Republicans didn't do in the primaries. There's 12 of them. Did Ben Carson have facial hair?
Ben Carson does.
Yeah.
He has like a goatee.
He
Yeah.
does.
right.
But if he would have he had that the whole time and it was kind of whack. But if one of them would have just middle of the primary mustache all of a sudden.
Boom.
It's a Tom Selleck,
Oh my God.
Burt Reynolds style, bushy 80s mustache.
That stupid Bernie bird that landed on the podium was a huge thing.
Yeah.
You know how many signs with mustaches on them there'd be
It'd
everywhere?
Be huge. Just Kasich walks out rocking like a thick one.
Just a big old beard.
Yeah.
Hey guys, I'm back.
Oh, what
Johnny
were we
K.
Why don't you like me? I'm the only one who can win.
Circle sunglasses on.
If you people like me, we'd be made in the shade.
Oh my God! All right. Well, I mean, until then, we still have to continue on with this draft. And
Yes.
Jared, you're up. You have your second pick, the
All
third
right.
pick of the second round.
Oh boy, I don't know where to go.
You
kind of.
previously picked Shakira as your Secretary
I
of
did
State.
Secretary of State Shakira. I guess I'll go. Fuck. You went president. I'll go president.
Yep.
I want the Lakota warrior Crazy Horse to be the president of the United States.
Sure.
The famous winner of the Battle of Little Bighorn. I feel like it's time for a true Native American president.
Yeah. There's not going to be any birth certificate controversy with Crazy Horse.
No, I think it's very clear where he's from.
Yeah.
And I'd really like someone in charge who, your president is a symbol, right?
Yeah.
And here's the thing. Liberals really love American Indian people because they're like, well, they have white guilt and
There's no stronger guilt tonic than that one. Yeah.
But at the same time, conservatives love it too because they somehow forgot that we white people wiped out the Native Americans and they just think it's like cool cowboy shit now.
They love the imagery of it.
Yeah.
They want to wear a bolo tie.
That's the West. Those people were noble. Too bad we had to kill them with smallpox. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think conservatives are going to love him too. And now you've got a president who can unite the two parties, and you can't assassinate him because when he was a teenager, Crazy Horse went on a vision quest where a water spirit made him immune to bullets.
Is that true?
According to legend.
He will have been the only president who went on a vision quest.
Also, going
I don't know.
to
Carter disappeared for like 6 months in 1971, and
Did he
nobody
actually?
really knows what happened.
Bush Bush W went on a lot of vacations.
He went on a lot of vision quests.
We don't know he wasn't in a sweat lodge. Crazy Horse, man. Try going into a voting booth and seeing some name and then Crazy Horse beside that and not punching Crazy Horse.
You know what's a bummer is people would have to call him Mr. President instead of Crazy Horse.
Hell no, they
his
wouldn't.
face?
President Horse.
What do you President Horse.
President Horse.
President Horse?
President Horse? Yeah. Crazy Horse meeting with Vladimir Putin is...
Calling him Crazy Horse would then start to become like how they say Barack Hussein Obama.
Yeah.
Be like,
Yeah.
President Crazy Horse.
That's...
He comes with a pre-made Donald Trump defamatory nickname.
Right.
You can't make it...
You
can't be like
you
crazy,
can't.
crazy
No, that's
horse.
my whole... You can't.
More like Crooked Horse.
You can't give him a defamatory name. You can't mess with... You can't be like, but you smell... Your name's already Crazy Horse. I can do nothing with that.
He has military experience. He has local government experience.
I mean, he's the commander-in-chief of the armed forces, and I think he knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
With very small amounts of men, he was able to beat much larger and better armed forces over and over again.
Was he eventually defeated?
He eventually surrendered.
He surrendered.
And then was, they say, killed during an attempt to escape. However...
But not with bullets.
No.
No.
Because you couldn't be killed with bullets.
Because he couldn't be killed with bullets. But who surrenders and then attempts to escape?
Right.
They think that someone might have been like, fuck this guy, and just killed him while he was in prison.
Because you're such an American badass.
I mean, truly, when someone stands up for their principles the way Crazy Horse did, can he survive for very long? So many Jesuses gone to the cross too soon. And that's the point I wanted to make here today.
Are you afraid? You haven't picked your vice president yet, so we'll see. Are you afraid of assassination attempts on Crazy Horse?
Oh, don't worry.
Okay, we'll see.
See, the thing is, Crazy Horse is very aloof.
Yeah.
And he's very quiet.
Yeah.
And he's very noble. He wasn't a talkative guy. But he's a symbol. My president is my symbol. I'm going to have a power behind the throne that can handle the less noble side of government.
Sure, a muckraker.
Yes.
Now look, he's a Lakota, and that was the Dakotas.
They were part of the Sioux.
The
yeah,
Sioux,
and they did live in the Dakotas.
So I mean, that doesn't get you a lot of electoral votes.
I'm just learning so much.
Just
Well, you got
I didn't know how
states
much
right
I was
there.
going to learn.
This is fun, right? I'm an
Learning
idiot,
so-
but you two guys.
I owe a lot of my knowledge to another podcast, History on Fire by Daniele Bolelli. That's really the guy's fucking name, Daniele Bolelli.
There's a lot of podcasts with names that say, we know it's history, but it's cool.
Yeah, on fire.
There's like
Hardcore,
history, which people say
Hardcore
is good, but
history.
it's many hours long.
Yeah, so is History on Fire by Daniele Bolelli.
Is he an Italian guy?
You said two different names.
Daniele Bolelli.
Okay.
And yes, he is an Italian guy with a very strong Italian accent. And he tells you long history stories, but he has it an Italian accent.
You should make sure people understand that you didn't add a microphone.
No, that was...
This is still me, Jared
That's
Logan,
Jared
just doing
Logan.
an accent.
That's Jared Logan.
And he'll be like, crazy horse at this point was very sad. And it tells you the whole story. It's amazing. And I just listened to the whole story on History on Fire. By the way, Daniele Bolelli is also a martial artist. I just want to get that in there.
In case you were thinking of attacking his studio.
It helps him tell the stories, okay? And, I just listened to the whole story of Crazy Horse, and I was like, President of the United States, right fucking there.
Well, big up to Daniele Bolelli and to Crazy Horse. You now have your president.
Yeah.
And you also have the next pick, the first pick.
Oh, lovely.
Of the third round.
Well, let's go vice president now,
Let's do it.
motherfucker.
Ooh, God.
Sorry, I'm getting all fired up.
Calm down, Jared. Your history's not the only thing on fire.
I need someone who can go out among the people, you know, because Crazy Horse is going to have a little problem with that. He's a noble warrior,
He
right?
does not speak English.
He's not, he's almost supernatural, Crazy Horse. He's the thing you want to be, not the thing you are. I need a man of the people, but I also need someone who's good at backroom dealings, to do the less noble side of government. That's why for vice president, I nominate the Kingfish, Huey P. Long.
I'm going to imagine right off the bat, most people don't know who Huey Long is.
Huey Long? I didn't know I had to get a different education before I came here.
No, you just had to
Kingfish.
read Wikipedia for about 40 minutes.
The Kingfish, Huey Long.
The Kingfish, Huey P. Long. He was a governor of Louisiana. He was a senator from Louisiana. He was eventually assassinated because he was a real asshole politically.
Famously corrupt.
Famously corrupt. But I need someone who can do that. And as a super corrupt guy, he also fits with my politics. He's ridiculously... He's liberal Donald Trump is exactly what he is.
Yeah.
He's liberal version of Donald Trump.
I think I've heard that.
That's what he is. I mean, he was like, break up the banks, share the wealth. And he got all these like very poor, like destitute people to be like, fuck yeah, dude, let's fucking rock. But then at the same time, while he was like behind these very socialist Bernie Sanders type politics, he was also doing things like creating a company to buy up government land to sell the mineral rights and like getting all these kickbacks. And he also was like, anytime there was a local government that didn't like him, he would just write new laws that he could appoint everybody in that government and everything. And that's actually how he got shot, is he was going to get this judge out of his judge's seat, and the judge's son shot him in 1935.
No kidding.
But I think that if someone tries to shoot Huey this time, Crazy Horse can just jump in front of him.
Right,
because he's immune to bullets.
He's immune to bullets.
He's got that power.
Yeah.
Oh my, you really thought it through.
And how fun is it to have a vice president who kind of talks like a Cajun?
I like that.
I don't know that he did.
He
but
had to have.
He's from Louisiana. His name's Huey Long the Kingfish. He better.
He had
What a nickname.
Yeah.
The Kingfish. It's going to be hard to do better as far as nicknames go.
The Kingfish. Kingfish and Crazy Horse. That's a ticket.
Kingfish and Crazy Horse?
Kingfish and Crazy Horse. Jesus fucking Christ.
That's a ticket? That's a
as
Burt Reynolds
good
movie?
as Tippecanoe and Tyler, too.
It's as good.
And that's all we remember about Tippecanoe and Tyler. I don't even remember.
literally it.
That's it.
John
Yeah.
Tyler? Zachary Tyler?
Zachary Taylor?
Zachary Taylor Thomas.
Zachary Taylor
It was
Thomas.
JT.
Which brings me to my pick.
Just how great would it be with the vice president, every time he laughed, he was like,
He had a motto, every man a king.
every man a king.
Every man a king.
He also said something interesting where he said, when you see fascism in America, it will look like anti-fascism. And there was a guy named Sinclair who said, when you see fascism in America, it'll come draped in the flag and carrying the cross, which is what we always see. When fascists come through, they're like, yay, Christians, yay, America #1, yay. So he knew he was a smart guy.
The Kingfish said that?
The Kingfish said a version, and then this playwright said another version that's actually way more eloquent.
Upton Sinclair?
I think it's Upton Sinclair, I think. Fuck, I'm a comedian. I don't have to technically know that.
100% true. Here, just reading from Huey.
He doesn't. He does not. If anyone thinks that he had to know it, he did not.
You don't have to know
and he
it.
doesn't.
I'm only presenting it as knowledge that I've researched.
On his Wikipedia, it says, under Long's leadership, hospitals and educational institutions were expanded. A system of charity hospitals was set up that provided health care for the poor. Massive highway construction and free bridges brought an end to rural isolation, and free textbooks were provided for school children.
How's that sound, America?
I don't know that we really want to be selling so hard on racist Democratic machine politicians from another time.
We all love Huey Long. It does mention that,
John,
too.
that's a fair point.
It does mention that. Deeply racist.
Yes,
deeply racist man.
I forgot to read that part.
He didn't expand that part of the entry.
He was.
Well, we got Crazy Horse there.
He was deeply,
Crazy Horse will check him on that.
He couldn't have been.
Shakira's not going to allow that shit to go on. Don't worry. She's there. Crazy Horse is there. They're going to rein him in on that.
It is ironic that by far the most diverse ticket so far has just added Huey Long. Because to the
Team of Rivals, Ian.
Absolutely.
Team of Rivals, my friend. That's a book that was written that I didn't read.
Doris Kearns Goodwin.
Yes.
A classic.
Probably by that person.
I feel like his Wikipedia was definitely written by someone who kind of wanted to leave the racism in the shade. Because it doesn't...
They bury the lead on that.
He's got a great PR team.
He doesn't agree still. They remain.
Yeah, no, it's Woody Allen's guy.
That guy, it's that guy who made a documentary about Woody Allen that just really glossed over literally everything bad about him. All right, you had Huey Long as your vice president.
I'm regretting it now, but yes, he's there. He's on the board.
He's on the board.
I apologize.
It's all right. It's all right. It brings the draft back to me. I get to make my third pick now. I already have Bill Clinton as my vice president, Teddy Roosevelt as my president, and I'm now going to pick my Secretary of State. And I'm going to kind of roll around in the mud with you guys. My Secretary of State is going to be Meryl Streep.
Nice.
Yeah.
That just makes sense in real life.
Just because say something bad about Meryl Streep. Nobody can do it. Nobody can do it.
Some of her latter films have been kind of...
Meryl got to eat, too. I just want to say that right now. Meryl got to eat. She's been... The other reason, as Secretary of State, you're the country's top diplomat. You need to have a little bit of experience, being in other countries. And she has plenty of experience. The film Mamma Mia took place in Greece, so she has experience in Greece.
She's played the Queen of England.
She's played the Queen of England.
And she's also played the Iron Lady.
She's been the Iron Lady, yeah.
She's played two of the greatest women in recent British history.
Yeah.
Not missing a beat.
Our relationship with England is going to be stronger than it's ever been.
Yeah.
Probably since we were...
Because they love it when Americans play them.
They do. They're huge fans of it. She showed strong leadership ability in The Devil Wears Prada and also a soft side, you know what I mean, that we got to see, but that she didn't broadcast outward. And I like that. I like that she's a human, but with a tough exterior. Mm-hmm. And she's just... send Meryl Streep into a room and she'll charm anyone.
Can I say something, though?
Please.
Being a little critical.
Go on.
I feel like every time the press asks her a question, she's going to go, "It's complicated."
Because of her movie. I think it'd be charming.
My heart.
If she did that, that would be very charming.
It would be.
And then you know what she says.
What'd she say after that?
Let me tell you what she says after that. When she's presented with a hard decision, she says, "That's a real Sophie's choice."
Ooh.
And she knows. So she's used to making hard choices.
Yeah. And then...
Yeah,
and
what else does she say?
Keep this going for an hour.
Let me tell you what she says next. When someone asks, like, how are we going to do this? It's such a big change for the country. She's going to say, it just requires a little adaptation.
A little adaptation, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I
Sure.
like
you guys get it?
I like.
And then if someone comes to her and they're like, the economy's in trouble, what are you going to do? She'll just be like, Florence Foster Jenkins. Which Which means fake it till you make it, baby.
Absolutely.
Watch the movie, get the theme.
And if they ask any follow-up questions, she can say the Ant Bully, which she was a voice on. So
Nice.
Yeah.
Coming in 2017.
No, the Ant Bully, that came out, that was like 2006.
Oh, really?
That's when they were making all those cartoons about ants.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Because there was an ant race. Because one studio was like, they have an animated movie about ants. Where's ours? We're going to lose.
Yeah, it was Ants.
Yeah.
A Bug's Life.
Bug's Life.
Yeah.
A little bit later, the Ant Bully.
And then a little bit later, the Ant Bully.
The Ant Bully.
The Ant Bully. That came and went fast.
We were living truly in the golden age of animated ant movies.
Truly,
Yeah.
truly.
I think Meryl Streep, the only bummer thing is now she's not making as many movies because she's a Secretary of State. But I think that's fine. I think she does this show. Maybe she's not a 4-year Secretary of State.
And honestly,
but we get 2 good ones out of her.
They can figure out her schedule. She
Yeah.
can put something else in like second position.
Absolutely.
And
She'll
then
have
so
her whole shooting schedule worked
Yeah, she
out.
just does that during, in between things.
I just think you send her into any negotiation. She's going to get something for us out of it.
I mean, Defending Your Life,
Yeah.
her role in that, I can't think of a more likable character I've ever seen.
Yeah. And she's got that, and she's got the Devil Wears Prada Meryl too, so she can play hard.
Right.
She can go in. She's got a she can have a severe face if she needs to. She's angular. She's beautiful, but in a scary way.
And you guys, when she goes to a funeral for a world leader, a female world leader, and she's speaking, she can say, to compliment her, whoever this may be, she can say, she's done so much in her life that, in a way, death becomes her.
Yeah. That's good, yeah.
She
You
truly
guys see
can.
what I did?
Yeah.
Right.
I just got to make sure people are seeing what I'm doing.
And when she bites into a steak at a steak dinner, she can say, prime.
And then
That's the name of a movie.
And then, guys, then if she's asked, like, do you think America is going to lose this trade deal? She can say, you know what? I have some doubt.
Doubt. From the movie Doubt, yeah.
I think we should just hope that she's not the 2004 remake of The Manchurian Candidate.
Was she in that?
She was in
She
that.
has a great speech in that where she says, she puts her fist up and she goes, in the desert, in the dark.
I like that.
Ooh, that's
very
powerful.
cool.
I don't know what the rest of it is or what it was
Out
about.
of context, it works.
Just
Yeah.
All right, so Meryl Streep is my Secretary of State. I got Teddy Roosevelt, Bill Clinton, Meryl Streep. Having just said those last 2 names in a row, I'm beginning to think maybe that was a mistake to put them in the same room together that often. Those two. Although maybe we'll see. Maybe Meryl Streep can rebuff those advances.
Yeah.
She's certainly been charmed by some of the most charming men in Hollywood. Hopefully, she's able to withstand Slick Willie.
She can hold her own.
That's my administration so far. John, it is now time for your third pick, the final pick of the third round.
So, we've got a great chief of staff in television sensation, Marc Summers. Okay. We have a vice president that's a leader and a shoulder to cry on, Rita Wilson. That's a lot of soft, that's a lot of lovable, but I think we need a president with some hard edge, but someone who's been in the shit.
Yeah.
Who knows how to win a battle, who knows what it feels like to lose a battle, who's made mistakes and come back stronger.
Give it to us.
I think we need Anakin Skywalker after he's killed the Emperor.
Oh, my God.
Oh, God. Are you taking me into the prequel Star Wars films, you piece of shit?
After he's killed the Emperor.
Oh, so this is Darth Vader.
Oh, I'm
I'm
sorry.
saying-
I apologize.
The word
And
Anakin is a trigger for
after
Jared.
And
he's
I'm
killed
being
the
very clear about something
Yes.
here, because in my mind, all right, and look, you seem like you're invested.
Well, a little.
Here's what I think. I'm saying, I'm not picking Darth Vader, all right? I feel like that's edgy, to say, I want Darth Vader to be president, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm saying that after he tosses the Emperor down the garbage chute, he's Anakin again.
Yeah.
But he's an Anakin that's led his whole life. He's got that big egg head.
Yeah.
All right? He's in trouble. We get him up on his feet.
We get him out of the Death Star in the 10 seconds before it blows up.
Your
get him
president is dying.
Well,
moment
here's the thing. First of all, listen, we're all dying.
Yeah, I have questions about his health.
I think he's actively dying. Does he have Trump's doctor?
First of all, Rita Wilson gets all the briefings.
Okay.
That's an important thing. We have a chain of, it's an institution.
Okay.
Yeah.
We get him up on his feet. Worst case, by the way, he goes ghost. I mean, he reappears.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
And
Jedi
now-
Ghost.
And now we've got a Jedi Ghost president.
What does the Constitution say about Jedi Ghosts?
It's fine.
It's fine.
I checked before
Yeah.
I came here. It's fine. You can't find it. I promise you, it's a long document.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't read all the amendments, and maybe there's something in there. But there's not a word about it, about Jedi Ghosts, and I think it's fine.
It's a little problematic, and then you have to be strong in the Force to see them or hear
Yeah.
them.
I think Louis Brandeis ruled on that, right? He said that
yeah,
it was
that
okay.
famous, yeah.
It was
That's
okay
right.
to
That's
have
right. That's right. It was
a Jedi Ghost president. Yeah.
I like this. He's scandal proof because if you're like, you slept with a woman, he's like, I was fucking Vader.
Yeah. That was Vader.
You guys
did that.
all know that.
Darth Vader. We love a redemption story in this country.
Yeah.
He's an underdog.
Yeah.
Okay. He's made mistakes. He's a veteran,
He is a veteran. He is a veteran.
Yeah,
he's a
he's a
veteran at
veteran.
several wars.
which is great. I mean, Teddy's a veteran. I guess Crazy Horse is a veteran too.
Oh, big
Yeah,
time,
yeah.
baby.
Big veteran. But he also, Now, it's also true though that Crazy Horse fought against America, and Darth Vader never did.
Did he?
Technically-
Darth Vader never
or
did.
Was
what
he the
the-
realer America?
I think his vice president would agree with me.
Team of rivals.
Yeah. I think, and look, honestly, there's going to be a lot of hard questions during the campaign
Yeah.
about Alderaan. Mm-hmm. But I think we just get him some talking points.
What would it be as someone who is? I mean, you've written speeches for Obama and Hillary. What is it? What would you try? What angle would you be looking for in Anakin's first speech? Like reintroducing him as a political candidate. What are you looking for in that speech?
I think he would say, it's time to restore law and order to
Yeah.
the galaxy, which includes the United States. I think we've had enough of these rebel terrorists, and their money is worth nothing.
Yeah.
All right, they make terrible deals.
Yeah.
We're going to make big, beautiful deals. We're
Yeah.
going to build a big, beautiful Death Star.
Oh wait, I see where you're going. with this.
And honestly, we're going to make the rebels pay for it.
Yeah.
We're going to build a big, beautiful Death Star, and we are going to make that rebel scum pay for it.
Yeah.
And we're going to do when I'm leading this empire, we're going to win so much your head will spin.
Yeah. The rebels come over here. A lot of them are smugglers.
Yeah.
Some of them are Wookiees.
Princess Leia is not sending her best people.
No.
All right. She's sending the weird ones from the cantina. She's sending the dolls they sold from the third movie. That's who she's sending. She's not sending the best ones.
No.
You take a really corny picture of Anakin drinking the blue milk, from Tatooine. Yeah, just like with a thumbs up. Yeah. Excellent. So
Strong pick.
Anakin Skywalker is sort of a Donald Trump-like figure, but you think he'll do better in the role of president? He was
Well, yeah.
repentant.
Look, he made mistakes. We all make mistakes.
I do worry that he's from when you picked him, he is actively dying. I mean, he's dead soon after.
It's very unclear why he's dying at all.
They took his special
They took
helmet
his
off.
special
So
helmet
let's
off.
put that helmet right back on that head.
Pop it right
Now
back
he's
on.
Vader again. He's Vader.
No. He's been through he's been through a lot. He knows what's up now.
Let's get him a new helmet. Let's
It's
get him
gotta
a
be a new
new, like a
helmet.
white,
Red, white, and
soft-
blue.
Oh yeah,
Red, white,
yeah.
and blue. Red, white, and blue with a picture of him on the front.
Yeah.
No cape. I think a cape sends the wrong message. Cape is about evil.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
gotta
Cape
be-
is Dracula-like.
I think we want something that people can relate to. I think like a little, a J. Crew button down.
Nice.
Pair of khakis
Over the armor.
Roll up the bottom of the sleeves a little. Get him in a pair of Vans or something.
Yeah. Oh, that's
Something
supposed to be
very
a hip. This is a
casual.
hip
no,
Anakin
he's hip. He keeps the
Skywalker.
helmet on. Helmet. That. Get one of those backpacks.
You've
those
turned
Herschel backpacks.
So in your
Wow.
your mind,
now
Anakin
I think he's
Skywalker-
inelectable based on fashion.
Anakin Skywalker is like kind of like a combination of Donald
he
Trump
drives-
and a hipster, not even a
he
hipster, like
drives
like a hip mall kid.
I don't know.
Kia Sorrento.
You've made a strong case, but this is just a slightly better pick than Jar Jar Binks at this point.
You've taken the Anakin pick and made it more ridiculous through your reinvention of him almost.
Yeah.
I think I took it down. You know what? I said yes and I regret it.
You did. You went way too Grandlings on it.
Should have said no but.
Yeah, there's some no buts in. But I mean, you presented an interesting version of Anakin Skywalker to the people. Now we're gonna have to find out if the people want to vote for him.
I'm curious to get to know that guy.
I want to get to know him too. I'm at least intrigued. He's definitely going to win my primary. Whether he wins the presidency is going to depend on your fourth pick, which you get to make right now.
Oh my God. Okay. Fourth pick.
You have
'Cause we're going
Rita, you have Rita
serpentine.
Wilson, Vice President. Anakin Skywalker, President. Marc Summers, Chief of Staff.
So we need a Secretary of
And
Defense.
the Secretary of Defense, Secretary of State.
Well, no. Oh, we need a Secretary of State or a Secretary of Defense. All right. You want somebody in that Secretary of Defense role. Okay, here's what you want. All right. You want somebody who's confident. All right.
Yeah.
Who doesn't give a shit. All right. Who you're a little bit afraid of. Okay. Maybe Lucille Bluth.
Wow. We're staying in the fictional world, and you bring in
Arrested
Lucille
Development.
Bluth
Yeah, why not?
from Arrested Development.
She has a little bit of an alcohol problem.
She's definitely a
As
drunk.
have several of our
that's true.
greatest secretaries of defense. Do you know what Abraham Lincoln once said about Ulysses S. Grant when someone said, Ulysses Grant is a drunk?
Yeah.
He said, send my other generals whatever he's drinking.
Oh.
Huh? That's a
The
little
first
history.
I'll
I've
have what
messed-
she's
good. I
having.
like
That
that.
is almost what I think the story is.
Yeah.
I think I got that almost right.
Yeah, no, that sounds right.
Well, these are fact. This is a fact checked. PolitiFact checks this podcast. So Secretary of Defense Lucille Bluth.
She's definitely defensive.
She is defensive.
That's right. She's very thin.
She is very thin,
Good point.
which is something I think
Good point,
we've
yes.
gotten away from a little too much with our Secretary's Defense
Yeah.
recently.
I like her style. Mm-hmm. I think that she, her racism, which is on display often in the show,
Yeah.
we could maybe turn it into an asset.
How would you go about turning that into an asset?
I don't know. I don't know how that's going to work.
She's
I think that, I guess I just mean that she's not going to be cowed in any negotiation.
that's true. Other countries will know that she's perhaps a little racist, and it would be faster to act in retaliation.
Yeah, I just think people would be scared that she doesn't care who lives or dies.
She, other than the president, other than your president, who I have to remind you is the
At
former
death's
Darth
door.
Vader.
At death's
So
door.
the people in charge of launching America's nukes right now are Anakin Skywalker and Lucille Bluth.
I'm just saying, who is going to be like? People will be fucking terrified.
Knowing that people will be terrified. People, even in North Korea,
Especially people in the United States.
even in North Korea, they at least know who Darth Vader is. I'm assuming.
Well, she's
right?
not gonna do anything to the Korean Peninsula. She has Anyang.
Oh, that's true, Anya. Oh, wow. So she does
now-
have an inroad.
And by the way, dealing with North Korea is going to be one of the most important and difficult challenges
Yes.
the next administration will confront. Having a member of her family who knows that world is invaluable.
I think so.
Not to mention, she's gonna be stealing things, and Michael's gonna have to come in and clean it. That's 2 for the price of 1.
Yeah.
Oh, you get Michael?
Well, he's always sort of comes with the
Yeah,
package.
it's true.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
And
he's
that's another
handling
person
her.
with military experience, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, no, not Michael. That's
Buster had
Buster had
military
military.
experience.
You get him,
right.
too.
They're a military family.
busted.
They know what
Yeah.
the sacrifice is all about. Not only that,
They're a
he's
Purple Heart family, right? I mean,
he was injured.
Yeah.
Um,
He lost his hand.
so
Tensions. There will be
I'm going to admit something now.
Yeah, go on.
This was my worst pick.
Now, well, you know what?
It's
almost like you came up with it off the top of
it's
your head.
almost like you weren't prepared
Wait, what?
to pick his Secretary of
How
Defense.
dare you? How dare you suggest
We
that
will
I
do-
didn't pour over my choices
Yeah.
for hours?
I saw you had a whiteboard.
You had a
at home,
white- yeah.
like,
I had a
over the
beautiful
Red
mind style
yarn.
whiteboard.
Yeah.
Well, look, no administration is perfect, and yours is Lucille Bluth.
You
and
also,
that's
by the
gonna be
way,
fun.
you need someone to be gaffe prone and make mistakes to draw the evil eye.
That's true.
Away from the fact that I picked a dying Sith Lord
dying Sith.
of the United States.
Yeah, you need an administration where he's not the fuck up.
Yeah. Well, you have the
That's tough.
perfect person to draw that attention away. In the 4th round, it's time for me to make my 4th pick, the 2nd pick of the 4th round. And I already have a president, a vice president, and a secretary of state. I think I am now going to pick my chief of staff. And my chief of staff, I'm going with Gina Davis
The actress.
The actress Gina Davis.
So you have a very Hollywood-centric...
It is a very Hollywood-centric
We're deep in 90s Hollywood with all of these administrations.
Let me explain.
Not mine.
Let me explain Gina Davis. First of all, Meryl Streep is timeless. But let me explain Gina Davis really quick. Gina Davis is a member of Mensa. She's a member of Mensa. That's the top 2% of people of intelligence in I think in the world, right?
Top 2% of people who really want people to think they're smart.
Which I'll take. I'll take a Gina Davis. She's going for it.
I'm waiting for you to mention the one fact that I know.
She's a world-class archer.
There it is.
Well, I mean, archery is such a big part of White House chief of staff.
Here's what
it's mostly archery. It's mostly hunting game in the old way.
The job is mostly target archery.
I mean, my president's good at archery.
I feel very badly that I'm the only one without a world-renowned archer.
You still have one pick, and I think you got to go with Robin Hood. Or William Tell. Well, she's really good at archery, so people are going to be a little bit afraid of her. So they're if she's got to be the Iron Fist in that White House every now and then, she's capable of it. She'll just walk around with a quiver.
Nice.
She won't have the bow on her, but people will see the arrows. They're like, all right, let's not fuck with President Teddy Roosevelt today.
Yeah,
they're going to be able to bond on target shooting, which I don't know, but I assume is something Teddy Roosevelt would have been into. She's smart. Mm-hmm. She's cool. She was in A League of Their Own. People are going to love her. People love that movie.
She played a president.
So she gets it.
Yeah, she crushed it on that show.
She was really good at, what was that, Madam
Commander-in-Chief.
Commander-in-Chief. Yeah.
Pre-Madam Secretary. Long before that.
Really set the table for Madam Secretary and all of its shining success, which might be on the CBS network.
It is.
So big up to that show. Gina Davis. She's got to be the president's confidant and a little bit of a taskmaster, and I think she'd be amazing at both of those things. And she's available, I think.
And she's beautiful.
And she's gorgeous.
Which never hurts in a political realm at all.
No, I'm sending her out there too. Yeah. So that's me. That's my pick for Chief of Staff, Gina Davis.
Okay.
I think it's an unassailable pick.
Okay.
I think it's an unassailable pick. I'd like to see...
It's assailable.
I'd like to see one person assail it. The floor is open.
I think it's a great pick.
See? Has no political experience at all.
That's all right.
She's never...
Has she ever run an organization?
She was pretty pivotal to the baseball team on A League of Their Own.
I mean, her most famous role, role other than A League of Her Own is dying and then bringing Beetlejuice to life.
Yeah, Beetlejuice. Yeah, she was definitely Beetlejuice.
I feel like you're going to get a lot of questions from the press about Cutthroat Island and what went on there.
But I don't think people blame her for that.
No, you're right.
Yeah, she wasn't her fault that Cutthroat Island happened.
Cutthroat Island should have worked.
Yeah.
That's what they say now. They say it should have worked.
It was really Frank Langella's fault.
Yeah, that was a Langella bomb, and Gina Davis just happened to be within the blast radius.
She was on for the ride. Her and Rennie Harlan.
Why do you know so much about Cutthroat Island,
I
Jared?
know so much about everything.
Oh, okay, I'll accept that as an answer. She was also on the TV series Fantasy Island, so a lot going for Gina Davis.
Yeah.
That is my chief of staff. Jared, you have the final pick of the fourth round.
Final pick, fourth round. I'm going to go with my chief of staff, former president, already been mentioned here today.
Ooh.
Well, wait. Mentioned, but not chosen.
But not chosen. Zachary Taylor.
Really?
The 9th president of the United States.
Zachary Taylor.
And here's why.
I hope we get a fact about him.
I have a funny story about him.
We were at the Rainbow Room one night.
He and I were out with the Pussy Posse. No. I just think he didn't get enough of a chance to really show what he could do. Yeah, because he died. He's one of the few presidents who died.
Yeah.
And do you know how he died?
No, I have no idea.
Well, he wasn't assassinated. He went to a street fair for the opening of the Washington Monument on July 4th one year.
Uh-huh.
He ate some bad fruit or bad milk. He got really bad
he
diarrhea.
Had cherries and cream, right?
And he died of diarrhea. Now, a lot of people think that maybe he was poisoned.
Okay.
So in the year 1990, I think, they dug up his fucking corpse. They did a radioactive test on him, on his bones, to see if there was poisoning possible.
Yes.
After digging up the man's corpse, former president of the United States, They were like, nah, it was diarrhea. It was diarrhea. We shouldn't have dug him up. He just shit it himself.
We were right. He shit himself to death.
And I picked him for a couple reasons. One, I don't really know a lot about what a White House chief of staff does.
Great.
Two, I had a funny story about him.
That's a solid reason.
Three, how funny would it be?
Yeah.
If you're in the big meeting, you got Shakira there, you got Crazy Horse, you've got intractable racist Huey P. Long.
Right.
And all of a sudden, Taylor shit his pants
Everyone
again.
knows who it was.
Yeah.
That would be funny.
Actually, now that I've said it out loud, it wasn't as funny as I thought it would be.
Here's the thing also, he's very, I can imagine once he comes back, he's very aware of the fact that people know how he died.
Yeah.
And he's like, is this a big deal? I'm like, no one even thinks about it.
Yeah.
No one's, it's not a big deal.
No one's bringing it up.
And then everybody was making the noise and the whole thing.
Yeah, there'd be like a bowl of cherries on the table and be like, anybody want some? Not you, Zachary. Yeah.
You'll die of something we can prevent now.
You'll shit yourself to death.
Well, he was an abolitionist, so he'll be really anti-slavery.
And Huey P. Long.
Yeah,
Team of rivals.
It is a team of rivals.
You can explain away anything.
I just love the idea that at your cabinet meeting, Shakira and President Zachary Taylor are teaming up with Crazy Horse.
Yes.
To prevent yet another racist gambit to make money for himself by one Huey P. Long.
I know. They're all checking and balancing each other. That is the foundation of our political system.
Do you think Crazy Horse will be able to get over the fact that Zachary Taylor was heavily involved in the Black Hawk War, the Second Seminole War?
That sounds bad.
The Battle of Lake Okeechobee.
This is from a time when they
you mean all those time that he killed American Indians?
Yeah.
It's funny, too, because that's from the era when they called them battles and wars, no matter who died. Like just a lot of mowing down of people making a fire.
They wouldn't call things massacres that were massacres yet.
Well, look, if we can forgive Anakin, I think that Crazy Horse can forgive Zachary.
Anakin did blow up an entire planet.
Look,
a rebel stronghold.
Yeah. Okay.
Sometimes our frenemies get things out of us that, our friends couldn't.
Coming soon to FX, a comedy you've been waiting for, Huey P. Long and Crazy Horse, frenemies.
Do you know what Zachary Taylor's nickname was? And I think this helps you out.
Of course I do. It was Old Puddinhead.
No, the first part was right. Old Rough and Ready.
Old Rough and Ready. Holy shit.
Old Rough and Ready.
Because you know what? I bet he liked it raw.
Unfortunately, he earned it during the Second Seminole War, Jack.
Crazy Horse was Lakota. He hates Seminoles.
All right.
He'd probably steal a bunch of horses from the Seminoles. And then he'd be like, now I am a shirt wearer because I have stolen horses from the Seminoles.
Fantastic. So you got to plan for everything. Huh?
When are we starting, you think?
The draft?
Podcast.
Any minute now.
Mm-hmm.
So that's your fourth pick.
That's my fourth pick.
You are now on the clock. Your final pick. It's time for you to round out your administration.
Okay. Well, this one was hard too. I don't know a lot about the Secretary of Defense or what that, but I read up on it a little bit, and I went with Ash Carter.
Ash Carter.
The actual Secretary of Defense?
The actual Secretary of Defense.
Our president?
Is your mind fucking blown?
So you cast your eyes across all of human history.
And fictional history.
And you said, I need to find the best human being ever to be Secretary of Defense. Yeah. And you went through the whole run of human events.
That's right.
And you said, you know what? We got the perfect guy in the job right now.
If it ain't broke,
they nailed it.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. All right.
Tell us one thing about Ash Carter.
I am excited to. Here's the main reason.
Short for.
I have the main reason I chose him right here, and it's fairly early on in the Wikipedia article.
Yeah.
He was a double major in physics and medieval history.
Oh.
Summa cum laude from Yale.
Right up your
Physics
alley.
and medieval history, and now he's the head of our military.
That is pretty inspiring.
And I want to say one thing about the combination of physics and medieval history, because he did go on to go to the Oxford, and he wrote on theoretical physics, so he knows a lot about science. So here's what I'm going to say about physics and medieval history.
Okay.
Quantum catapult.
That's America's new super weapon.
That's all I can say right now.
A lot of it is.
That's all.
I
Everything
can't
else
reveal everything about the quantum
it's
catapult.
mostly classified.
It kind of speaks for itself, though. At the same time,
I think anybody that's threatening to attack the United States should very carefully think about those two words.
I think we should very carefully think about what happens when the Iranians get a quantum catapult, because it's gonna happen. The technology will leak out. Is that a box you want to open?
I feel like, the Iranians are years away from the quantum catapult.
And you think a system of mutually assured destruction will hold up in that case?
Look, man, do you know how to build a quantum catapult?
No, I don't, but I don't know how to build a nuke either, but other people figured it out.
Okay, well, if you don't know it, the Iranians don't.
Is that how it
Feels
works?
like a sound argument.
Does Ian Karmel know? No, then we're safe.
That we're good.
Did he have military experience? This is very interesting.
It's interesting. He was, in the Clinton administration, he kind of knew something about the Russians. So he was kind of in charge of that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
During the Clinton administration as the Assistant Secretary of Defense.
So he has been an academic almost his whole career.
Completely
his whole life.
academic in his Secretary of Defenseness, which is interesting because that usually goes to a military man, right?
Well, it's I think they've served or not served. I mean, it's supposed to be a civilian, right?
Yeah.
You want somebody who's not like Leon Panetta was Secretary of Defense, and he came from the CIA.
Okay. That makes sense.
Yeah.
I don't know if he ever
And those
served.
guys have a great track record of things going just really stellar.
We only hear about their failures.
That's true.
I used to be in the government.
That's
Right. You're good at that. You had that ready to go.
Have you met Ash Carter, John?
I think he became Secretary of Defense after I left.
Right.
So I don't know if I met him because I only remember people if they're very important.
You had
No, I just don't. I don't think I know him. I don't think I met him.
who? So
He's got a great smile. He's a bit of a war hawk, but I think you want a little bit of that in your Secretary of Defense.
he was So Robert Gates was the Secretary of Defense when you were there, or William
Gates and Panetta, right? When did
Yeah.
Panetta become Secretary of Defense?
Panetta was
Gates was there when I was there. I think
2011 through 2013.
Panetta moved over either right when I was leaving or before I left. But yeah, Gates was there for the first 3 years.
What was their countenance like? What kind of were they calm, serious people? What did they seem like? Leon Panetta in his official picture has a pretty fun smile.
I danced with Leon Panetta at a wedding.
You danced with Leon Panetta?
Not one-on-one. It was a hora.
No,
Yeah, but
well,
you were
of
doing the
course, yeah.
horror with Leon Panetta.
Yeah,
That's
right.
fun.
Yeah,
That's amazing.
yeah.
I would love to. What other luminaries were in that horror? This sounds like an important horror.
This sounds like the best horror ever.
Yeah. Which on VH1? You were a talking head on that show on VH1, right?
Best
horror
horror
ever?
Yeah, best horror ever.
A lot of people were in that hora.
We love it. Yeah.
Huey P. Long.
Huey
Huey P. Long was in
that
the
horror?
horror. He would never have
He
done
would be
that.
caught dead in a horror. Not that Baptist.
Wouldn't have done that.
You don't have to disclose. I'm sure there's some people who you can't say who were in that horror.
Listen, it was a very
Illuminati.
most of the list of the hora was classified.
It was, it was a Bohemian Grove of a
Bohemian
Jewish
Grove horror.
celebratory dance. Okay, so you picked Ash Carter.
Ash Carter, Secretary of Defense.
So you decided to go out with a sizzle and not a bang by picking the sitting Secretary of
Man, I
Defense.
should have saved Crazy Horse.
Our like fourth or fifth Secretary of the Obama administration, right? At least the third.
Quantum
No, it's
catapult.
More, there's so
Say
many
no
because
more.
there was a lot of Secretary of Defense.
Quantum. You
Secretaries of Defense, not Secretary of Defenses.
Secretary. That's right.
That's right, Secretaries of
Like
Defense.
passersby.
You.
I like that.
So you're asking for the people to think of your choice more as the quantum catapult than of Ash Carter himself.
Do you want to be caught without a quantum catapult?
I don't.
Honestly, if the good guys don't have a quantum catapult, only the bad guys will have a quantum
That's
catapult.
right. And we can divide everybody on Earth into good guys and bad guys, and that's a good choice.
Got a little moral relativism coming from this side of the couch. Karl Marx over here. I don't even know if that applies.
I don't know.
After this, we're going to draft moral absolutes. So that's fun.
Oh, good.
Terrific.
Yeah.
It's time for me to make my final pick, my fifth pick, the second pick of the fifth round. I need a Secretary of Defense as well. And I'm also going to go with an actual political figure, someone who's still alive, in fact. My Secretary of Defense is going to be former President Jimmy Carter. He's 2 reasons. He has military experience, 10 years in the Navy. Second reason, chill as fuck. Just
Yeah.
a super chill guy.
Yeah.
He's 90 and his brain tumor's in remission.
Yeah, so he's on the...
So we're going with the one right now.
It's comeback season.
Yeah.
No.
I thought I was thinking present day Jimmy Carter.
Not
Who's
right
great.
now. He's
great.
wonderful too. Shaking hands on planes, man of the people. I'm going to go with, let's say, right out of the presidency, 1981 Jimmy Carter, learned all those lessons, learned from his failures, but still a very chill, decent person, still has military experience under his belt.
Yeah.
If there's one person who I want talking Theodore Roosevelt out of nuking people for not being manly enough,
Oh, man.
it's Jimmy Carter.
Teddy Roosevelt, he is going to have just a hair trigger.
That's an itchy nuke finger.
He's gonna hate Carter.
That's fine.
They
That's
are
fine.
not going to be friends.
They're gonna learn. They're gonna learn to respect each other. Is what's gonna happen. There's gonna be a little of a. They're gonna learn from each other. Teddy Roosevelt's gonna have Jimmy Carter boxing. You know, that's gonna be a fun thing. And Jimmy Carter's gonna have Teddy Roosevelt up there building homes for the poor, using wood stolen from the land that Teddy Roosevelt promised to protect. They might not get along, but I think. That's who I want in there.
But sometimes, two people, you think they're not going to become friends, they become best friends.
Yeah,
It's true.
They become best friends.
Like
Maybe they
Zachary
both love
Taylor
experts.
and Crazy Horse.
and Crazy Horse. Yeah,
Nobody
Those
thought
two
it would
crazy
happen.
kids, huh?
Yeah. They had more in common than they thought.
And at one point, basically they both realize they're aiming their various weapons at the same wild boar. Mm-hmm. Like,
What?
yeah. Oh, did you shoot it or did I shoot it? Yeah.
Cut to them just making out.
Oh, the meat. That's a perfect meat cute for those two.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's my final pick.
Jimmy Carter.
President Jimmy
Pretty
Carter.
unpopular president.
Not a great president, but
No.
I don't need him to do that much. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah, you're right.
He's pretty far down the ladder. I have 3 presidents in my administration and 2 Oscar nominees. I don't know if
true.
Gina Davis
You went with a
has been
two.
nominated.
You went with a clear 2-pronged strategy.
I have
here.
a 2-pronged
Yeah.
strategy. Former presidents and Hollywood's some of the most beloved leading ladies. So that's my final pick, John. It's your turn. You're going to wrap everything up.
So
Complete
we need a
your
Secretary of
administration.
State.
Yes.
All right. We need somebody who's beloved around the world.
Yes.
Okay. Who can take a ton of the foreign policy issues off the plate of the president.
Yes.
Who, I'd remind you, is a dying lunatic.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Just a dying religious
Yes.
fanatic.
A magical lunatic.
Genocidal maniac.
Well, former. Yeah.
Filled with regret.
Yeah.
Fashionable, though.
Fashionable.
Yeah.
Yeah, that little
Can't
backpack.
forget,
Yeah.
that I sort of took him down that road.
Yeah.
I think you want Barack Obama.
All right.
Barack Obama.
I think that's the level of. I think we need someone to balance out the militarism and alcoholism of Lucille Bluth.
Yep.
Someone who is neat and tidy so as not to exacerbate Chief of Staff Marc Summers'
Yes.
disorder.
Absolutely.
By the way, Barack, you're going to have to put the cigarettes away.
Yeah.
Or did he a couple years ago?
I think he's fine. He go to the Nicorette. The Nicorette will get
He
him
ma-
over
yeah.
the hump.
He's on that Mark Maron trip. Yeah.
It's hard to imagine 2 more affable people than Rita Wilson and Barack Obama.
That's true.
Tell me something.
Laughing.
Tell me something. There's a 3rd seat at that brunch table. You're not taking it?
That might be that's a coveted brunch seat.
You're taking that. I mean,
I
what
want
a
it.
treat. You're laughing the whole time. You're learning.
Yeah.
And and they're not even. You know what's great about going to brunch with Rita Wilson and Barack Obama? They're talking a lot. They're telling a lot of stories, but you don't feel like they're talking at you.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're included.
Not like-
Like,
Include you.
It's like when you go to brunch with Crazy Horse and Teddy Roosevelt.
Yeah.
You feel like they're basically letting you talk as like a courtesy, and they're not really listening.
Well, Crazy Horse is not talking. He's just staring at you with animosity.
Even on my own, Gina Davis would probably be condescending. I bet she's a little bit condescending.
Anybody that's joining Mensa has
anyone
got a
in
chip on their
Mensa.
shoulder
Yeah.
that they cannot get off.
Yeah. Rita Wilson, Barack Obama, out of all of our, and if that's one of the rubrics you want to use to judge these, pick 2 from our administration to go to brunch with them. It's hard to beat Barack and Rita Wilson.
I don't think you want to go to brunch with anybody from my administration. Not even Ash Carter.
Poor Ash. No, I think you'd have a nice little meal.
It'd be fine. It wouldn't be Rita Wilson and Barack Obama.
It depends if Shakira, if she's one of those like pop stars who's like very particular diet wise, because
Shakira, you'd be eating like just the thing you peel off the corn.
Yeah.
And she's not ordering off the menu.
No.
She's like,
you're
okay,
embarrassed.
do you guys do scrambles here? What's a scramble?
You have to apologize later, like to the waiter.
I just want to point out that I flipped the accents.
You did.
I thought yours sounded exactly like Shakira. I liked it.
Nobody made Shakira sound exactly like Jon Lovett.
Scramble.
I do a scramble. I do scramble.
It's hard to beat Barack Obama. You worked. Do you have any fun? Do you have like a fun anecdote for the people about Barack Obama? Any fun stories that captures the soul of our commander in chief?
I'll do one. I can tell one joke.
Tell
story.
one fun little story, please.
So the president was speaking at a fundraiser hosted by Whoopi Goldberg,
of course,
in the theater where they were doing the Broadway run of Sister Act.
Okay,
and he didn't need a speech or anything because he was just speaking to his support. They basically you would go in, you'd pay your big number to go watch Sister Act and then see the president.
Yeah,
right. And he said, I just need a little joke, just something. And I said, and this is terrible. All right, everybody? It's terrible.
Terrible.
I said, now that you've seen Sister Act, here's a little bit of my brother act.
You said that to the President of the United States?
Right to his face.
Holy shit.
And he looked at me and he just goes, no.
No.
And then he looked at his watch and he's like, all right. With this sort of just dismissal in his eye, he just said, I'm going to go eat dinner. And then I got to do this thing. You got to come up with something better.
Yeah.
So now I have a clock and I've got basically like 45 minutes to come up with a better joke. And I'm pacing and I'm thinking, everybody's making fun of me because it's a ridiculous thing. Right?
Yeah.
So, and finally I have it. I think I have it. He's about to go up. So he comes out. He's standing backstage about to go on. And I gave him this joke. And the joke was, it was great to see Sister Act. It's not only a great musical, but I'm doing research on where I'll send Sasha and Malia after high school. All right. Got it up to like a B+, I think. Maybe a minus. Depends on the delivery.
Yeah.
And he looked at me, he laughed, and he gave me a little fist bump.
There you go.
And I felt very good about that.
You got a terrorist fist bump out
Terrorist fist bump.
Yeah.
There you go.
But that was
He's stonewalled
just
you.
the shaking his head and saying no.
That's amazing.
That was
I love
that was a tough no.
How can you be afraid of anything ever again in the rest of your life?
Yeah.
After you've bombed with a joke in front of the president.
You can, yeah.
It's a funny thing that look, I wrote serious speeches. Very serious person.
Sure.
But I wrote jokes.
Only a serious person would draft Marc
And
Summers.
the number of times I've had to test out material on the president.
Oh
Yes.
my God.
And you know what it's like. You guys know what it's like to write a monologue. Yeah, these are monologue
Yes.
jokes.
Right.
You got to try them out.
You got to try
And
them in front of a crowd.
They don't all fly. You know,
Most
they come
Barack
out
has
burn.
very specific sense of humor, I'm sure.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, like everyone does.
Mm-hmm. Here's what. Really quick. Let's wrap up our picks really quick, and then I want to open one question on that Barack Obama thread. But first, Jared,
Yes.
Your
President of the United States, Crazy Horse.
Your Vice President,
Vice President, the Kingfish, Huey P. Long.
Huey P. Long.
Again, just Huey P. Long is not here.
Okay.
That's what it
That was
sounded
Jared
like.
again.
That was Jared. Sorry.
I
Go
changed
on.
the accent, too.
Your Chief of Staff,
White House Chief of Staff, death by diarrhea, Zachary Taylor.
Zachary Taylor. Your
Secretary of State,
Defense.
60 million albums sold, Shakira.
Amazing.
And Secretary of Defense, the current one, Ash Carter.
All right. John. I went second. I had Teddy Roosevelt, Theodore Roosevelt, as my president. Bill Clinton running around eating ice cream, harassing people as my vice president. Meryl Streep, Secretary of State. Gina Davis as my chief of staff. And then my Secretary of Defense was someone this is a bad sign. I'm blanking on who my Secretary of Defense was right now. Jimmy Carter.
Jimmy Carter.
Jimmy Carter.
Peanut farmer, nutter butter, motherfucker.
Yeah, that's something we say at work.
It's a fun inside joke.
You
from
Jimmy
work.
Carter, nutter butter, peanut farmer, motherfucker.
I love room jokes.
Say it
Yeah.
like that. Jimmy
Yeah.
Carter, nutter butter, peanut farmer, motherfucker.
You Jimmy Carter, nutter butter, peanut farmer, motherfucker.
It's a fun thing. I would love to see Samuel L. Jackson say it to someone.
Sure.
Yeah. So that's my...
Samuel L. Jackson in that shark movie is a good pick for something.
Oh, yeah, in Deep Blue Sea?
Deep Blue Sea?
Deep Blue Sea.
Yeah.
Just killer sharks. Brilliant sharks.
All right, he's the head of my interior.
Yeah.
I got him at FEMA.
John, your administration?
President of the United States.
Yes.
Dying repentant Sith Lord Anakin Skywalker.
Beautiful.
Yes.
Vice President Rita Wilson.
Even better.
Chief of Staff Marc Summers. Secretary of Defense Lucille Bluth.
Hand on the button.
Seems safe.
I mean, in the chain of command.
Yeah.
And of course, Secretary of State, rounding out this killer squad. One Barack Obama.
Barack Obama looking at the administration like it just pitched him that brother joke. Yeah, the rest. Now this is a fantasy draft. I'm offering one reprieve to hear. You don't have to take it, but this is the waiver wire round where if you want, you can drop one person you picked and replace them, but you can only do it once. And if somebody is dropped, somebody else can pick them up. John, you went third, so you have the first pick on the waiver wire. If you
Do I replace them?
You replace
them right on the fly.
You do. You can drop somebody and replace them with anyone.
Dropping Lucille Bluth.
Bluth is out.
Replacing with Michael Keaton's Bruce Wayne.
Ooh.
Oh, nice.
Oh, yeah.
And that just makes sense. I don't even need to explain it.
No,
No, you
not
don't
at
have to
all.
explain it.
Yeah,
You don't
yeah.
have to explain it.
Michael Keaton, yeah, absolutely. Mm-hmm. Big on defense, but also a tender heart.
A little quirky.
A little quirky.
Yeah.
And,
Got a little quirk to it.
He's fun.
and the man can keep a goddamn secret.
He can.
Oh, he certainly can.
Yep, for sure.
I am actually going to stand pat. I'm not going to drop anyone from my administration. I'm not going to add anyone. I'm pretty happy with the people I have. The only thing I would consider is possibly replacing my Secretary of Defense, Jimmy Carter, with Maya Angelou. But I'm not going to do it. I'm sticking with what I have. Jared, you're up.
I can't lose anybody. I love every pick. I am going to need to talk to Huey about some of his views.
Yeah. In light of everything, you're keeping Huey Long.
Oh, God damn it.
You can't!
You know what? Fuck it. You're out, Huey.
Huey's out.
Now Huey Long's a free agent.
Yeah.
Now, who am I bringing in? The Son of God himself, Jesus Christ. Jesus of Nazareth.
Jesus of
The
Nazareth.
famous rabble-rouser of Jerusalem area.
Uh-huh.
That guy had a good touch with the people.
Yeah.
But at the same time, he had a lot of political ideas. He fought a corrupt government. I mean, other than and he wasn't super traditional in his religious views. I'm going to go with Jesus Christ.
You're not afraid that his relationship with a prostitute is going to cause some concern.
That's a bug that's actually a feature. Yes, there was a prostitute. And yes, I have made her legit now. And she's...
Perfect.
And what job was that? What was Huey P. Long in? Was
he was vice president.
Man, it is very, very tough to be president.
Crazy Horse Christ.
When your vice president is Jesus.
That
Crazy
is tough.
Crazy Horse doesn't believe in him. It's fine.
That's tough.
Crazy.
But I had to think on the fly, and the first person that came to mind was, of course, Jesus.
Jesus Christ, the first person you think of in any situation.
Well, there's a big cross in here.
Yeah, it's gigantic. It's headgum. We have a massive crucifix on the wall. So Crazy Horse is getting assassinated 100%. But those are our administrations. Could I trouble you for even 3 minutes more of your time?
Of course.
I have a fun question, and I think you guys are what do you think Barack Obama's going to do after the presidency? Just quick prediction.
Well, during the presidency, he's editing Wired magazine.
Yeah. So you think he's going to go more in that direction?
I think Tiger Beat. Take over the Tiger Beat editorial
He's
draft.
just going to do every magazine, guest edit.
Get an office at Condé Nast and do everything.
I'm excited to see. I hope that I'm being too serious about this answer, but I do hope that he's very much out there and
Present.
visible all the time.
Yeah.
I don't want him to hide away up in some house. I want him to be out doing fun stuff.
You think like a charity work, Bill Clinton, Jimmy
Yeah.
Carter.
You think he's going to go like San Simeon on us and just disappear?
Rosebud.
He just aviator style. I don't think
Long
that's like
beard
that.
and
Grows along-
fingernails.
Yeah. Built a giant wooden drone. For
Yeah.
some reason. Yeah.
Yeah, I want him hanging. I want him still around.
That's great. Just yeah. Do you have any thoughts? Did he tell you anything? No.
I mean, look, I think we'll read a book.
Yeah.
And then I don't know.
That's going to be a good book.
I think it's hard to imagine he's not a big part of public life.
How pissed off are you going to be when the book comes out and it's called Brother Act?
That would be, you know what? I'd like it.
Yeah.
That's a story, huh?
Yeah.
That's a story. I thought he didn't like the joke. Turns out he remembered it hard.
He was saving it. He's like, I'm not wasting that on this fundraiser.
It's more of a title.
Guys, thank you so much for your time. This has been the Presidential Cabinet edition of All Fantasy Everything. Once again, thank you to my guests, Jared Logan and Jon Lovett. Look them up online, buy their shit if they have any of it for sale. Get one of those $450 single edition 1600 pen DVDs. And thank you for listening. Tune in again next time. Thank you for listening to that politically heated episode of All Fantasy Everything, ladies and gentlemen. Truly, truly horrific outcomes of each of our drafts. I think every one of those administrations would quickly run this country directly into an open volcano. But, you know, that's why we play, to find out who should or shouldn't be putting together this country. And that was it. That was this week's episode of All Fantasy Everything. Remember to vote on which administration you would most like to see in the White House. Go to @Ian Karmel on Twitter. There will be a Twitter poll pinned to the top of the page. Just go check it out. Place your vote. We'll announce the winner and then do it all again next week. Thanks for listening to another episode of All Fantasy Everything. We will be back next Friday with another brand new episode.
That was a HeadGum podcast.